Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Great Voyage. Lord Madara crushed celestial dragons to death with one hand. Chapter 1. East Blue, on an unnamed island. A handsome young man with a stern face and long hair like a hedgehog was sitting by the fire, concentrating on roasting the barbecue in front of him. Beside the handsome young man, there was a wild boar as tall as a small building. Obviously, what the young man is roasting at this moment is the meat of the wild boar in front of him. Open the properties panel. Glancing at the barbecue that was still a little short of heat, the handsome young man muttered in his mind. The next moment, a virtual light screen that only young people can see appeared in front of the young people. Host. By Han. Fusion template. Uchiha Madara, shoulder Madara form. Current fusion progress. 57.4%. The maximum 3 Tomo Sharingan can be activated. After the fusion progress reaches 100%. The youth Madara form will be activated, and the maximum eternal Mangekyo Sharingan can be obtained. Boundary of Blood Inheritance. Indra Bloodline not yet activated, Sharingan, Single Hook Jade. Total amount of Chakra. Elite Chunin. Ninja Tools. Steel Wire X5, Shuriken X127, Kunai X42, 1000 copies X115. Ninjutsu. Fire Style Great Fireball Technique Class C, Fire Style Phoenix Fire Technique Class C, Fire Style Dragon Fire Technique Class C, Shuriken Control Technique Class C, 3 Body Technique Level D, Uchiha Fluid Technique Level A, Uchiha Flow Sword Art Level A. The handsome young man, that is, Bai Han, looked at the progress of the integration of the current template, and murmured, "Is it 57.4%? I don't know what the 60% reward will be. I'm really looking forward to it." Bai Han is a time traveler who traveled into this world 2 months ago. After 2 months of groping, he finally knew what kind of world he was in now. Although it is not as dangerous as the Hokage world, there is a threat from the extraterrestrial race, the Otsutsuki clan. However, the danger here is also not small. Because this is the world of pirates. A world where everyone is a blood cow, can resist bullets physically, and can do crazy sit-ups. But fortunately, Bai Han didn't just cross over in such a naked way. Along with Bai Han, there is also a cheat called Fusion System. The Fusion System gives Bai Han the opportunity to perfectly integrate with Uchiha Madara. Bai Han will fuse with Uchiha Madara at various stages during the battle. In the end, he inherited Uchiha Madara's strongest form in one fell swoop and became the only sage of 6 paths in this world. I have to fight more powerful people to quickly improve my strength. Based on my current strength, it should be enough to rival those pirates with tens of millions of Bailey bounties. Bai Han took out a stack of reward orders from the ninja tool bag behind him, which was actually a temporarily bound system space entrance, and started flipping through it. Soon, he found a suitable target in this stack of reward orders. Beast Shanbei, the leader of the Beast Pirates with a bounty of 11.4514 million berry, is a pretty good opponent, but why do I feel a bit stinky for no reason? Bai Han held the reward list and muttered in a daze. But at this time, the barbecue in front of him was already done. The refreshing smell of meat made Bai Han directly give up thinking about this meaningless question. No matter what kind of opponent it is, if he targets him, there is only one dead end. After a full meal, Bai Han embarked on the journey again in his own boat. The bounty list has traces of the Beast Pirates' recent haunts, which can be regarded as some help from Marine to the bounty hunters. Otherwise, if the bounty hunters alone want to find the traces of the Beast Pirates, the hope is too slim. Half a month later, outside a small island named Sartu, Bai Han came slowly in a small boat. Holding up the chart in his hand and comparing it with the information on the reward list, Bai Han murmured, "It should be here." According to the information given on the Marine reward list, the Beast Pirates have been haunting the nearby waters recently. If the other party wants to supply supplies, this small island named Sartu is in the right place. Not only is there no powerful marine base around, at the same time, the number of residents living on it exceeds 100,000, making it a relatively prosperous island. Whether you want simple supply resources, or want to burn, kill and loot, it's a good choice for the Beast Pirates. At this time, the black smoke rising from the depths of the island caught Bai Han's attention. This made Bai Han's beautiful sword eyebrows frown. "Have you already started?" Bai Han directly pulled up the sail and accelerated his speed. Due to the good qualities inherited from the rabbit, although Baihan is not from this world, he still cannot see such abominable massacre happening in front of him. At the same time, a group of pirates from the Beast Pirates had also entered the small town of Sartu Island. Beast Shanbei, the leader of the Beast Pirates, who is more than 5 meters tall, is carrying a huge machete, grinning with big yellow teeth, and walking on the street with a group of pirates, looking around wantonly. From time to time, pirates broke away from the team, broke into the homes of civilians, and plundered wealth and women. The cries resounded throughout the town, and at this moment, the originally peaceful town turned into a hell. Jahaha, Laozi's bounty should be increased again after the robbing here is over, right? Beast Shanbei grinned wantonly and said. That's for sure. After this time, Mr. Shanbei, you must at least be a big shot with a bounty of more than 20 million berry. On the side, like a thin monkey, the pirate with a wretched face said flatteringly. Jia ha ha ha, Laozi loves to listen to your words. I will reward you with the most beautiful woman in a while. Beast Shanbei laughed suddenly and said. And the pirate's eyes immediately lit up, and the expression on his face became more obsequious and cheered. Thank you, Mr. Shanbei. Thank you, Mr. Shanbei. The level of the bounty was originally the motivation for Marine to encourage bounty hunters to hunt pirates. However, because of the gradual decline of Marine prestige and the arrival of the era of great pirates, this has gradually become a symbol of comparison among pirates. In the eyes of many pirates, or most people, the amount of the bounty offered is directly related to the strength and prestige of the pirate being offered the bounty. Many pirates even purposely increased their bounties to gain greater prestige. They wantonly slaughtered and tortured the small islands and towns wherever they went. However, the reason why Beast Shanbei had a bounty exceeding tens of millions of baileys was not only because of cruel methods. At the same time, the strength of the Beast Shanbei itself is also an important factor. The strength of Beast Shanbei, even the major of the Marine Division, is extremely difficult to deal with. And just when Beast Shanbei led a group of pirates through a street corner, on the roof at the side, there was a sudden rattling sound. Then dozens of figures holding muskets appeared on the roofs on both sides, and at the same time, these people shouted excitedly. Beast Salty, I accept your 11 million Bailey head. Ha ha ha, let Laozi die. Didn't expect it. This is where your bones are buried. Clap clap. The densely packed bullets immediately shot towards the Beast Shanbei like raindrops. The pirates who followed Beast Shanbei just met each other, and they were beaten to pieces, and fell to the ground wailing. Under the sudden attack, these pirates are just a group of living targets. However, such a sneak attack has no effect on the wild Beast Shanbei with a bounty of more than 10 million berries. I saw the Beast Shanbei wielding a machete in one hand, easily shooting down the oncoming bullets. With one hand, he raised the pirate who was still flattering him to protect his head and side, and easily blocked the barrage coming from all around. Jia ha ha ha, it's you hyenas again. So many people have died, don't you have a long memory? Facing the hail of bullets around him, the Beast Shanbei didn't panic at all. Obviously, the current situation is not faced once or twice. Taking advantage of the gap between the bullets of the bounty hunters on the roof and the weakening of the firepower net, the Beast Shanbei seized the opportunity and threw the corpse of the dead pirate viciously towards the roof where there were the most bounty hunters. Passed. Under the terrifying power of the Beast Shanbei, this corpse was like a cannonball. It easily smashed the wooden roof there to pieces. At the same time, the bounty hunter hiding in it was thrown out. Jia ha ha ha, dare to kill Laozi, are you ready to die? The Beast Shanbei directly showed a speed that was seriously inconsistent with its size, and appeared in front of the bounty hunter who was blasted into the air in an instant. The next moment, a machete more than 3 meters long swung out suddenly. Puff! Blood sprayed all over the sky, and those bounty hunters were cut in two. It didn't even hit the ground, it just lost its breath. This scene directly made the eyelids of the bounty hunters twitch wildly, and there was a bit of fear in their eyes. The strength of Beast Shanbei is abnormal, they seem to have chosen the wrong opponent. But it was too late to repent now, they had to fight to the death to win a chance. Kill him. Only by killing him can we hope to survive. Let's go together. He's the only one left now. Get rid of him before those pirates come over. Come on. A group of bounty hunters dropped the guns in their hands one after another, raised all kinds of weapons put aside, and rushed towards the beast Shanbei. In fact, except for those excellent snipers, guns are not so useful in battle, and basically they can only be used for sneak attacks. After all, the movement speed of those strong people is too fast, and ordinary people have no chance to aim at them. On the contrary, if you use cold weapons to fight hand to hand, there is still a slight chance. Immediately, dozens of bounty hunters jumped over from all directions and rushed towards the beast Shanbei. However, facing the ultimate danger, beast Shanbei just laughed maniacally, and his whole face became distorted. Jia ha ha ha, how dare a group of bounty hunters hunt and kill Lousy? Remember Lousy's name in your next life. Don't come here to die. While speaking, beast Shanbei tightly held the machete in his hand, and then spun like a top. The powerful and heavy blade easily cut through everything in front of it. Whether it is an axe blade, a blade or a flesh, there is no resistance under the blade of the wild beast Shanbei. But this is actually very normal. The pirate world is originally a world where supermen run rampant. Even ordinary people have amazing vitality. Not to mention the pirates with bounties exceeding tens of millions. And the vast majority of bounty hunters are just existences of low strength. How could they be opponents of pirates with bounties exceeding tens of millions? Facing a monster like beast Shanbei at this moment, it was naturally like being chopped vegetables and melons. Just one round of offensive directly led to the reduction of more than half of the dozens of bounty hunters present. There are less than 20 bounty hunters left standing. However, the remaining bounty hunters had fear in their eyes, and it was obvious that they no longer had much fighting spirit. It's not an opponent at all. Is this the strength of a pirate with a bounty exceeding tens of millions? I know I was wrong, let me go. I am willing to join your pirate group. I'm going home. I'm going home. Woo! Facing the terrifying beast Shanbei and the broken limbs and arms on the ground, many members of the bounty hunter team collapsed and knelt on the ground and begged for mercy. Even those with slightly better minds just kept trembling while holding their weapons. But in fact, there is no ability to resist at all. Gee ha ha ha, join Lousy's pirate group. Who are you looking down on? Beast Shanbei grinned a few times, and cut the bounty hunter who wanted to join the beast pirates in half with a single knife. The hot blood directly splashed the faces of the people around, making those bounty hunters tremble even more, and they fell to their knees with a thump. And this scene caused those civilians hiding in their homes full of expectations to suddenly fall into deep despair. These bounty hunters said before that they would ambush the beast pirates here, and they were quite happy. But who would have thought that this group of bounty hunters would be so useless? So many people can't beat that pirate. At this moment, the civilians in the small town can only hug their families tightly and enjoy this last life. At this moment, those pirates who were raging in the small town also heard the movement of the battle at this moment, and rushed over one after another. However, when they saw their own captain and the bounty hunter kneeling on the ground, the pirates immediately felt relieved. Ha ha ha, the captain is mighty. He actually managed to control all these hyenas. Tisk tisk, a group of bounty hunters in the district don't really think they are the opponents of our pirates. Captain, kill them all. It's useless to keep them anyway. That is, hang their heads on the highest place, and let those bounty hunters see what happens when they provoke us. A group of pirates followed suit, but their tone was full of cruelty. The wild beast Shanbei grinned with yellow teeth on his mouth. Just as he was about to say something, he heard footsteps gradually approaching. Oh, there are still people who want to die. However, it happened just in time. Lousy just didn't kill enough. The beast Shanbei grinned, with bloodthirst in his eyes. These bounty hunters are definitely the spices on his voyage. Each time will greatly satisfy his desire to kill. I just don't know if the guys who came this time are better than those before. He can't wait to torture and kill these guys who think they are strong. But soon, the figure walking with the sun behind his back in the distance made him stunned. Although under the sunlight, the figure walking was completely shrouded in darkness, and the face could not be seen clearly at all. However, the other party's scarlet eyes that seemed to glow were still clearly visible. This guy, Beast Shanbei frowned, feeling a little dignified. He seemed to have heard rumors about this guy, but he couldn't remember it for a while. But at this time, the bounty hunter on the side exclaimed. It's the guy East Blue Shira. We're saved. That guy is the leader of the cliché pirates who killed Barry with a bounty of 9.72 million. I can't win. No matter how I think about it, I can't win. The bounty of 9 million Barry and 10 million Barry is completely the same threshold. The difference in strength between the two is too big, and there is no way to win. Beast Shanbei will never let us go. Now we can only play East Blue Shira to give us a little more power. It's over, it's over. I thought it was a savior, but it seems that we still have to die. The group of bounty hunters who had been scared out of their wits wailed in despair. However, this still allowed the Beast Shanbei to gain information. Remember, it's the so-called East Blue Asura. Gahahaha, those red eyes are really scary. The Beast Shanbei looked at Bai Han, who was approaching gradually, with a look of tyranny in his eyes, and growled, "How dare you treat Lousy like those trash fish, how bold. Lousy will definitely chop off your limbs, hanging on Lousy's bow." Of course, even though he said so, he didn't intend to rush forward by himself. With the name of the Shadow Tree of Man, he was able to kill the leader of the Chrissy Pirates with a bounty of 9.72 million Berry, and his strength was already very close to him. As an old Zhonghu, before finding out the specific strength of the enemy, he rashly went up to die. That's no different from whipping Hades with a big mouth. Boys, come on me. Whoever cuts this so-called East Blue Shira, Lousy will make him a cadre. Whoever kills this East Blue Shira, he will be the deputy head of our beast pirates from now on. The Beast Shanbei leaned on the machete and roared. As soon as these words came out, the pirates of the Beast Pirates breathed heavily. You know, the cadres of the Beast Pirates can directly enjoy 2% of the total plundered treasures. In addition, after the captain and deputy captain have finished selecting women, they can enjoy women first. This treatment is much better than that of ordinary pirates. And the deputy captain can directly enjoy 20% of the total plundered treasure. You can choose the most beautiful woman after the captain. This kind of treatment is even more insane. Therefore, even though they knew that the East Blue Shira on the opposite side was powerful, these pirates still charged forward without hesitation. People die for money, birds die for food, do you want me to dance too? Bai Han muttered indifferently. At the same time, he also started to speed up and run. However, Bai Han did not use the so-called scientific running method. After all, that's just the scientific way of running for an average person without chakra. In fact, the advantage of ninja run is that it can sprint faster and can hide the weapons in both hands at the same time. It is very beneficial for fighting. As for center of gravity, with chakra you don't need to think about these things at all. And the inertia of sprinting is enough to increase the attack a lot. Soon, the two sides gradually approached, and Bai Han plunged into the siege of nearly 100 pirates. With the assistance of one Tomo Sharingan, everything around him seemed to be slowed down, allowing Bai Han to easily capture the movements of the surrounding pirates. The next moment, the kunai held in Bai Han's hand suddenly flew around his side like a butterfly wearing flowers. Every attack precisely hit the weak points of the surrounding pirates' weapons, easily knocked these attacks away, and then slashed through the throats of these pirates who were wide open. Even if there are some relatively powerful pirates, Bai Han can't shake the opponent's weapon away with a single blow. But with the help of one Tomo Sharingan, Bai Han also had enough time to find the gap and make up the second attack. In just an instant, more than a dozen pirates clutched their throats in pain, and fell to the ground with blood gushing. However, at this moment, no pirate cared about these details at all. All the pirates were fascinated by the benefits promised by the Beast Shanbei, and they only saw a knife on Bai Han. Even when Bai Han killed the surrounding companions, they only felt that the killing was good. After all, one less person equals one less competitor to grab the qualification. Soon, under Bai Han's superb physical skills, there were fewer and fewer pirates around, and finally the attacking pirates discovered something was wrong. Nearly 100 of them rushed to besiege Bai Han, but Bai Han was not only unscathed, but actually killed them, leaving less than a dozen people. This East Blue Shira is not a piece of meat at all, but a demon. I can't beat it, I can't beat it at all. Run, I don't want to be a cadre anymore. My brothers are all dead, I don't want to die. Run, this East Blue Shira is beyond our ability to deal with. The pirates of the Beast Pirates immediately turned around and ran towards their captain. However, Bai Han naturally would not let these pirates escape. A few shurikens appeared in his fingertips, and then he threw them towards the pirates in front of him. A chakra-infused shuriken is as powerful as a rifle bullet. Once it hits a flesh and blood body, it can easily plunge into it. Even the rough-skinned and thick-skinned blood cows in the pirate world can't withstand this kind of attack. However, these shurikens seemed to have lost their aim. They bypassed the pirates behind, drew an arc and landed at the front of the group of pirates. And these shurikens are still bumping into each other, knocking each other into a mess. This scene made the hearts of those civilians and bounty hunters jump. Are you too tired? How did this attack miss it? East Blue Shira is human after all. He has killed 70 or 80 people, he must be tired. It's over, just killing these ordinary pirates is enough. How can we face the beast Shanbei? There is no chance at all. Both the civilians hiding in the house and the bounty hunter kneeling on the ground thought that Bai Han was exhausted. Otherwise, how could he throw the dart in his hand so inaccurately? This undoubtedly made them even more desperate. However, at this moment, Bai Han suddenly pulled his hands towards the middle. Practice shuriken technique. I saw steel wires that were almost visible one by one, tightened towards the center in an instant, and entangled towards the pirates fiercely. And at this time, the escaped pirates realized the thin and long steel wires surrounding them. What is this? Captain, save me. Help, I don't want to die, Captain. East Blue Shira, wait a while and you will be defeated by the captain. Lousy will definitely want you to look good. While roaring, the pirates brandished their weapons and struck towards the entangled steel wires. However, the scene at the next moment shocked them instantly. Because their weapons were easily cut off by these steel wires. Even if their weapons are not famous weapons, they can be regarded as relatively sophisticated weapons. How could it be cut by such a thin wire like tofu? For a moment, all the pirates were in shock. It's just that these pirates don't know that this is actually the effect of the steel wire attached to chakra. Chakra, which is like a panacea, makes these steel wires as sharp as a blade. I am afraid that only those famous knives can withstand these steel wires attached to chakra. And with the weapons cut off, how could the pirates in the steel wire array survive? The steel wire cut into the flesh and blood of these pirates easily like a knife cutting butter, cutting these pirates into chunks. The blood splattered directly everywhere. The beast Shanbei was the first to bear the brunt, being doused in scalding blood. This scene made all civilians and bounty hunters exclaim in alarm. After the steel wire was stained with blood, they finally saw clearly what was going on. It wasn't that the darts thrown by that East Blue Shira were crooked, but that the other party planned to use the steel wires brought out by these darts to catch all the pirates in one go. Such cruel and bloody means really lived up to the name of the opponent, East Blue Shira. God, is this the method of East Blue Shira? No wonder it's called East Blue Shira. This is the first time I've really seen this guy make a move. With the strength that East Blue Asura is displaying at this moment, there should be hope of defeating the Beast Shanbei, right? Oh, I hope. Beast Shanbei is too powerful. The bounty hunters kneeling on the ground saw the strength displayed by Bai Han, and hope rose in their hearts. Of course, this hope is only a little bit. The strength of Beast Shanbei is really too strong. That powerful and heavy machete is almost like Shinigami's sickle. I am afraid that even boulders can be directly split into pieces. Although the strength displayed by Bai Han is very powerful, it is more inclined to the skill type. Coupled with the fact that Bai Han is only 1.8 meters tall, the gap between him and the Beast Shanbei is really too big. If it weren't for his previous performance, no one would even think that Bai Han is the opponent of Beast Shanbei. On the other side, the beast's salty shell splashed with blood licked it and fell to the corner of his mouth. With salty blood, he grinned with a crazy smile. Gia ha ha ha, it's interesting. It's not bad at all. Opponent. I hope you can make Lousy happy. The death of his men didn't make the Beast Shanbei feel anything at all. It's just a group of subordinates. With his reputation as a wild beast, he only needs to release news, and there will definitely be a large number of pirates. Compared with these small things, if the bounty hunter in front of him is killed, his bounty and reputation will be further improved. Thinking of this, the Beast Shanbei instantly disappeared in place. When it reappeared, it had already come to the top of Bai Han's head, and it was full of Bai Han's machete half the size of a man, slashing down fiercely on the head. Ha 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 ha, interesting. Facing this earth-shattering blow, Baihan's indifferent face couldn't help showing a bit of excitement. This is the fight he wants. I don't know how much this big guy in front of him can improve his fusion. The Uchiha Madara template he activates wants to improve the integration, the only requirement is to fight. Constantly fight with various existences. And compared to his own strength, the stronger the opponent is, the higher the degree of fusion he can provide. The strength of Beast Shanbei is just right for him now. Moreover, with the characteristics of the opponent's blood cow, he will not be killed so easily like those ninjas in the Hokage world. Substitute. Baihan quickly formed a seal, and a wooden stake took his place, and was chopped into pieces by the wild beast Shanbei's violent knife. And Baihan himself appeared about 6 or 7 meters away. Si Wei Shen Hai Noon Yin. Fire-style Great Fireball Technique. Accompanied by Baihan's fingers quickly forming seals. A fireball the size of a truck spewed out from Baihan's mouth and flew towards the beast Shanbei. The scorching flames even twisted the air. If you get close enough, you will even feel a sense of suffocation. Don't look at the fact that fire-style ninjutsu can't kill people in Hokage, but in fact fire-style ninjutsu is an extremely destructive move. Whether it is the lethality or the range of damage, they are all top-notch existences. Even the beast Shanbei's face changed drastically in an instant. Are you a demon fruit power? The beast Shanbei was taken aback, and then sharply slashed at the giant great fireball flying towards him. Although this knife successfully split the fireball. However, the shock wave of the explosion still directly sent the beast Shanbei flying. At the same time, the beast Shanbei also suffered burns of varying degrees. Glancing at the reddened machete that was slightly melted, beast Shanbei's heart was filled with fear. The East Blue Shira in front of him is too terrifying. Although his machete is not a famous knife, it is enough to be called excellent. If it is placed in the auction house, it can be sold for a high price of hundreds of thousands of berry. However, under that East Blue Shira's fireball, it still turned into this ghostly appearance. Such a thorny existence is really hard to deal with. Thinking of this, the beast Shanbei suddenly felt the intention to retreat. Although he didn't think he would lose, there was really no need to continue to entangle with the other party. Otherwise, once his subordinates are dead and the news that he is still injured spreads, those old enemies and Marine will probably come up to trouble him. At this moment, the civilians hiding in the house and the bounty hunter who secretly changed places to kneel on the ground were completely stunned. No one thought that it was just a fight. The one who had the upper hand turned out to be that East Blue Shira. Moreover, what surprised them the most was that the East Blue Shira could breathe fire. Such a huge fireball was sprayed out directly, it was like a volcano descending into the world. My God, is this strength still human? This bounty hunter is so strong. I heard from those bounty hunters before that this lord is called East Blue Shira. He is really strong. That's right, we might be saved. This pirate is no match for Master East Blue Shira. The civilians were overjoyed and exclaimed. Originally, they thought that this East Blue Asura would be cut in half by that tall and strong pirate. As a result, who would have thought that the adult instantly turned into a piece of wood and disappeared on the spot? Then, when he turned his head, a huge fireball spewed out, blowing the head of the pirate directly into the air. According to the current situation, maybe that bounty hunter named East Blue Shira really has the hope of defeating that pirate leader. No matter how bad it is, it should be enough to drive that pirate leader away. However, those bounty hunters were not so optimistic. They have also experienced a lot of battles, and their combat experience is naturally very rich. Although the fireball came suddenly like a miracle, it actually didn't really cause any damage to the wild beast. If the fight continues, it will be really hard to say whether the two sides will win or lose. However, they believe that Beast Shanbei may have a greater chance of winning. After all, this so-called East Blue Shira looked like he had small arms and legs, and his height was like that of an underdeveloped child. Compared with the Beast Shanbei, there are completely two worlds. Of course, they also saw the retreat in the Beast Shanbei's eyes. So they all followed suit. Please, please don't provoke the wild beast anymore, let him go. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, please. East Blue Shira, Brother Shira, you are my real brother. Don't do anything. A group of bounty hunters kneeling on the ground followed in prayer. If the fight continues, the beast Shanbei will most likely kill the so-called East Blue Shira, and at the same time suffer heavy injuries. And the consequence of this is that the beast Shanbei is trying to cover up the fact that he was injured. Will kill everyone on the island. Of course, this group of bounty hunters also did not dare to say such words. They couldn't afford to offend the beast Shanbei, so would they dare to offend East Blue Shira? Therefore, this group of bounty hunters could only knelt on the ground and prayed silently, praying that Bai Han would not continue to attack. However, how could Bai Han let go of such a good training object? In order to maintain his state to ultimate, he didn't use too much chakra when killing those pirates before. With his current amount of chakra at the elite Chunin level, he can't stand too much consumption. Even ninjutsu dare not release it at will. After all, Bai Han still needs to support the consumption of opening Sharingan. Without giving the beast Shanbei a chance to react, Bai Han instantly disappeared in place. The next moment, Bai Han was already on top of the beast Shanbei, and at the same time attached to Chakra's heavy leg, he also slammed into the beast Shanbei's neck. Boom! There was a heavy beating sound. The beast Shanbei's knee was kicked by Bai Han's heavy kick, and he knelt down suddenly. Even the ground was directly shattered, and there were large cracks. However, Bai Han frowned suddenly, then quickly retreated with the recoil. The next moment, a heavy machete that was still glowing red suddenly swung past the position where Bai Han was before. If Bai Han was slower, he might have been cut in half by this knife. And at this moment, the cold voice of the system sounded in his mind. Congratulations to host, the fusion progress has increased by 1%, and the current progress is 58.4%. Bai Han didn't feel any surprise because of the appearance of this voice. This is the setting he made to the system before. Whenever the fusion progress reaches 1% in this battle, the system will give a reminder to tell him what he has gained this time. And at this moment, there is only the last 1.6% left to the 60% progress of giving a big reward every 10%. However, Bai Han's attention is not on this at the moment. He looked at the beast Shanbei who was rubbing his neck, and only had a bit of pain on his face, and couldn't help murmuring in a low voice, as expected of a person from Pirate World, he is really meat. With the power of his leg, it was even enough to break an elephant's neck. In the end, this beast Shanbei was able to launch such a violent counterattack like a normal person. It's as powerful as a monster. This is just the strength of an ordinary pirate in East Blue. Then, how terrifying would those monsters with a bounty of over 100 million, even comparable to the alternate admiral level and the real admiral level? Thinking of this, Bai Han couldn't help becoming hot inside. Of course, these thoughts are just fleeting thoughts in Bai Han's dodging process. After dodging the wild beast Shanbei's counterattack, Bai Han launched another attack. This time, he appeared behind the beast Shanbei, holding two kunai in his hands, and ruthlessly stabbed towards the beast Shanbei's knee. He wanted to disable the beast Shanbei's legs, so that the beast Shanbei would lose the possibility of escaping. Such a suitable target for battle can't just be let go. Under the insight of Shan Guyu's blood wheel eyes, Bai Han did not miss the retreat in the eyes of the beast Shanbei. However, beast Shanbei is a pirate with a bounty exceeding 10 million. Even the pirates of East Blue have rich combat experience. The moment Bai Han launched his attack, he turned around and slashed at him heavily. However, Bai Han did not intend to dodge at all, and the kunai in his hand still pierced the beast Shanbei's leg socket. This scene directly caused the beast Shanbei's pupils to shrink violently. What kind of play is this? Directly exchange life for injury. He has been in the sea for so many years, and he has never seen such an operation. However, although the beast Shanbei was shocked in his heart, the movements of his subordinates were not slow at all. With heavy force, the machete in his hand slashed fiercely at Bai Han, who did not dodge or dodge. Since the so-called East Blue Shira wants to trade his life for injury, then he naturally can't let the other party down. However, when the beast Shanbei's attack and Bai Han's attack landed on the opponent at the same time, the beast Shanbei's face changed drastically in an instant. Is this fake? I saw the Bai Han, who was hacked by the wild beast Shanbei, disappeared in place after a burst of distortion. And the heavy blow of the beast Shanbei also fell heavily on the ground, directly shattering the ground. The two kunai that were originally stabbed at the bend of the beast Shanbei's legs also disappeared with the disappearance of the Bai Han. That's exactly the clone technique from three-body technique. Although it doesn't have any offensive ability, it is very practical to confuse others. Beast Shanbei was apparently successfully confused by the clone technique. And in the next moment, Bai Han appeared on the other side of the beast Shanbei. With a cold light in his hand, kunai brushed past the beast Shanbei's ankles in an instant. Puff! Amidst the screams of the beast Shanbei, a large amount of blood splashed out from the ankle of the beast Shanbei, instantly staining the ground red. After the attack was successful, Bai Han easily dodged to avoid the beast Shanbei's hateful counterattack, and at the same time landed not far from the beast Shanbei's front. The stage is ready for you, let me have fun. Bai Han turned the blood-stained kunai in his hands, held it with his backhand, and growled with excitement in his eyes. Every fight with the beast Shanbei is enough to increase his fusion degree by 0.3%, 0.5%. At this speed, beast Shanbei might at least increase his fusion degree by 5%. Maybe today is the time to open Ergoyu's blood wheel eye. And the beast Shanbei whose hamstrings were severed was also thrown into a rage at this moment. Since he went to sea, he has never suffered such a big loss. East Blue Shira, Lousy will definitely kill you today. The beast Shanbei let out a low growl, resisting the severe pain from his ankle, and rushed towards Bai Han. That speed was no slower than before, even Bai Han felt a shock. These people in pirate world are as strong as monsters. There was a little more seriousness in Bai Han's eyes. No wonder the actions of admiral-level powerhouses in this world are more than 10 days of fighting. A monster like Whitebeard who stands at the pinnacle of the world can even persist in fighting even when half of his head is knocked out. This vitality is simply tenacious and terrifying like Xiaoqiang. However, beast Shanbei had already had his hamstrings broken by him. Although in the case of a short distance burst, it will not be affected, but it is absolutely unrealistic to run away. Then he just needs to concentrate on his own battle. In the world of Shangoyu Mangekyo Sharingan, the movements of the beast Shanbei seem to be slowed down. Bai Han can easily capture all the movements of the beast Shanbei. This is also why he dared to challenge the pirates with a bounty of more than 10 million Baileys even though he only had the amount of chakra at the elite Chunin level. Facing the angry blow of the beast Shanbei, this time Bai Han did not continue to dodge. Instead, the hands began to form seals quickly. Zi Yin Shu Ugly Mao Yin. Fire Style Phoenix Fire Technique. With the completion of Bai Han's sealing, nearly 100 basketball-sized fireballs were spewed out instantly. It spun like a missile and spit towards the attacking beast Shanbei. Faced with such a close range and large-scale attack, coupled with the fact that his hamstring had been severed, the beast Shanbei had no room to dodge at all. What kind of monster are you? The beast Shanbei let out a low growl, and slashed forward with the machete in his hand. However, as his machete collided with the fireballs exploded instantly. The power of a fireball may be nothing. Even the power of 10 or 20 fireball explosions can also be withstood by the huge strength of the beast Shanbei. However, at this moment, Bai Han spewed out nearly 100 fireballs. The beast Shanbei only blocked a dozen fireballs, and had no choice but to block the machete in front of him, curling up his body as much as possible. However, the fireballs that kept hitting and exploding violently were not polite at all. The wild beast Shanbei was directly blasted hundreds of meters away, and finally slammed into a statue in the center of the town before stopping. But this time, the beast Shanbei suffered less damage than before. There were extensive burn marks on the beast Shanbei's body, and at the same time, his arms were fractured to varying degrees due to the previous explosion. Even the thick and lush hair was completely burnt, and the whole person looked extremely embarrassed. You monster! The beast Shanbei who fell to the ground felt fear of Bai Han in his heart. He could see that the strength of the monster in front of him was simply not something he could compete with. If the opponent can still use this move 2 or 3 times, then he has no chance of survival. However, looking at the so-called East Blue Shira's face as usual, as if nothing happened, he was not sure how many times the other party could use this strange move. Unfortunately, his hamstrings have been broken. Although there is nothing wrong with forcing a burst in the short term, it is not realistic if you want to escape. Thinking of this, beast Shanbei fell into deep despair. If he had known that East Blue Asura was so powerful, he would have run away long ago. However, Bai Han will not give the beast Shanbei a chance to regret it. Bai Han rushed forward with two kunai in his hands, and started a melee battle with the wild beast Shanbei. Although in terms of strength, Bai Han is far from the opponent of beast Shanbei. But relying on the terrifying dynamic vision brought by Sharingan, Bai Han performed the fighting skills exquisitely, and every move and every style got stuck on the weak spot of the beast Shanbei. It's like a gorgeous dance performance. And beast Shanbei, who suffered heavy injuries one after another, and whose state in serious decline, also lost the opportunity to break through all this with brute force. I can only fall into the rhythm of Bai Han completely, and dance with Bai Han. This scene stunned everyone, whether it's the civilians hiding in the houses, or the bounty hunters kneeling on the edge of the battlefield. They all looked blankly at the two dancing in the center of the stage. In front of everyone's eyes, it seemed that a peerless beauty appeared, dancing around a wild beast, and blood-colored flowers were constantly blooming on the beast's body. The scene was both gorgeous and full of deadly danger. Of course, those bounty hunters were more shocked and frightened. Because they never expected that the strength of East Blue Shira would be so terrifying. Even Shanbei, the beast with a bounty of more than 10 million berry, was caught so easily. With such strength, East Blue Shira will probably become famous in the entire East Blue. A bounty hunter murmured in shock. You know, among the bounty hunters in East Blue, there has never been a pirate who can hunt down a bounty of tens of millions of Bailey alone. The appearance of East Blue Shira will undoubtedly shake the entire East Blue bounty hunters. At the same time, on the other side, a system prompt also appeared in Bai Han's mind. Congratulations to the host fusion degree increased to 60%. Congratulations to the host fusion degree increased to 60%. Tutomo Sharingan has been activated, the total amount of chakra has been increased to special Jonin, and the rewards are Kunai x 300, Shuriken x 500, Senbon x 500, Steel Wire x 30, Uchiha Battle Suit x 1, Fire Style Haohuo Annihilation Class B. As the system prompt fell, Bai Han suddenly felt his eyes burn. The next moment, the world before his eyes suddenly became clear. Even if it is a seagull flying hundreds of meters away, he can see it clearly. Is this Tomo Sharingan? There was a bit of excitement in Bai Han's eyes. Compared with one Tomo Sharingan, the dynamic vision of Tomo Sharingan is more than 10 times stronger. At the same time, because of the improvement of dynamic vision, Tomo Sharingan also has the copying ability that one Tomo Sharingan does not have. In the Hokage world, such an ability is enough for Bai Han to directly copy other people's ninjutsu. In the world of pirates, although there is no ninjutsu, but Bai Han can also use this pair of two Tomo Sharingan to copy other people's physical skills and even sword skills. Even if he doesn't know the so-called artistic conception of those people, the iron fist of love, or the ability to listen to the breath of all things, it is enough for Bai Han to seize countless opportunities in the battle. In addition, combat materials such as kunai and shuriken have also received a wave of replenishment because of this upgrade. If you use it sparingly, it is entirely possible to persist until the next fusion degree reaches 10%. On the other side, the wild beast Shanbei, who was madly attacking, was shocked to find that the strange comma full of evil aura in the eyes of East Blue Shira had turned into 2 at this moment. Moreover, after the change in East Blue Shira's eyes, the opponent's dodge was obviously more comfortable than his attack. What the hell is going on with those evil eyes? The beast Shanbei let out a roar, and the offensive became more violent. At this moment, the beast Shanbei's thoughts were no longer running away. He knew that he had no possibility of escaping from this bounty hunter named East Blue Shira. He didn't even dare to have the extravagant hope of defeating East Blue Shira. The gap between the two sides was really too big. The other party is like a cat playing with a mouse at this moment, enjoying the final joy of hunting. He simply didn't have any chance to defeat this so-called East Blue Shira. Now, he only has one thought in his mind, and that is to use all his strength to leave a mark on this East Blue Shira. A trace that belonged to him as a beast. However, even this idea is just a wish of the beast Shanbei. Under the watchful eyes of Tomo Sharingan, all the movements of the beast Shanbei are under the control of Bai Han. Until it took a long time to squeeze out 0.1% fusion from the beast Shanbei, Bai Han had no interest in continuing this battle. In other words, as early as the opening of 2 Tomo Sharingan, it has the strength of crushing itself. Bai-Han has already lost the desire to fight. After all, torturing vegetables is not a battle at all. In Bai-Han's eyes, only a life and death fight between 2 people who are evenly matched is considered a battle. In addition, this is also the battle most recognized by the system, allowing Bai-Han to gain more integration. Let this boring battle end. Several shurikens appeared on Bai-Han's fingertips in an instant, and then he slammed them towards the wild beast Shanbei. Although the beast Shanbei relied on his rich combat experience to dodge or knock away these shurikens with a machete, he still couldn't escape the steel wire wrapped around the shuriken. At the other end of these steel wires, Bai-Han, holding the steel wire in his hand, has also completed the seal. Si Chen Mao Yin, Fire-style Dragon Fire Technique. Boom! A mass of scorching flames immediately turned into a fire dragon, spreading along the steel wire towards the beast Shanbei. If he is still at his peak, the beast Shanbei still has the ability to break free from the shackles of these steel wires. But it is a pity that the current beast Shanbei has been severely injured, and can only watch helplessly as the flame dragon head approaches and then devours him. Under the scorching flames, no matter how rough-skinned and thick-skinned the people in pirate world are, they are powerless to revolving heaven. At least, a pirate at the level of beast Shanbei can't do sit-ups yet. And this scene completely paralyzed the kneeling bounty hunters in the corner. Their knees were dedicated to the beast Shanbei before, hoping that the other party would forgive their lives for the sake of their honesty. No matter how bad it is, you can also consider absorbing them into the beast pirates. But now, their knees are completely dedicated to East Blue Shira. The strength of this existence is terrifying. He actually played with the powerful beast Shanbei in the palm of his hand. Judging from the strength displayed by East Blue Shira, the opponent is at least at the level of a lieutenant colonel or even a colonel in the Marine Division. And this kind of strength is enough to stand at the top of the entire East Blue. East Blue is really about to change. The existence of such a powerful bounty hunter is definitely a nightmare for East Blue pirates. I don't know if this East Blue Shira will go to the Grand Line, that's the stage for this kind of monster. No matter what, East Blue Shira saved my life. I declare that East Blue Shira will be my idol from now on. Although a group of bounty hunters still knelt on the ground and did not dare to act rashly, they still whispered. After all, they couldn't be sure how East Blue Shira was. If the other party doesn't like them and kills them, then they won't have time to cry. However, Bai-Han obviously has no intention of paying attention to these colleagues. After taking out the camera and taking a picture of the beast's head, Bai-Han left the town directly. As for the aftermath, it is not his responsibility. He has neither responsibility for it nor is he good at it. At the port of Sartu Island, Bai-Han took a look at his own small sampan boat docked in the port. He also looked at the 3-masted sailboat belonging to the beast pirates, which was more than 20 meters long, and finally chose the 3-masted sailboat of the beast pirates. Compared with his small sampan, the 3-masted sailboat of the beast pirates is obviously more comfortable. Now that the beast pirates have been dealt with by him, the other party's pirate ship is obviously his trophy. Bai-Han immediately moved his own supplies from the boat to the 3-masted sailing ship of the beast pirates with peace of mind, and unloaded the flag belonging to the beast pirates on the 3-masted sailing ship, and hung Uchiha representing his identity Uchiwa logo. In this way, even if you encounter Marine at sea, you will not be misunderstood by the other party and launch an attack. After a lot of busy work, Bai-Han finally sailed the 3-masted sailing ship that belonged to him out of the port. It is not an easy task to operate such a large 3-masted sailing ship. If it weren't for Bai-Han's strength is strong enough, it would be impossible to operate alone. At this moment, Bai-Han suddenly regretted choosing this 3-masted sailing ship. It's a pity that I don't know when I can get the shadow clone technique. It is still too difficult for me to operate a 3-masted sailboat alone. Bai-Han, who collapsed on the recliner, complained with a face full of emotions. He remembered that in the Hokage anime, the shadow clone technique did not actually exist in the early stages of Madara's growth. It wasn't until second Hokage, when the evil Senju Tobirama created the shadow clone technique, that a new era of ninjas opened. And at that time, I'm afraid it must have been the period of the young Madara, right? He doesn't even have the strength of a young Madara now, let alone a young Madara. Am I looking for some crew? Bai Han's complexion became a little ugly. As a social phobic, what he fears most is talking too much with others. Therefore, in the past, I followed the example of Lord Madara, put on a cold air, and tried my best to reduce the conversation with others. And this high cold look who looked at everything as if he was looking at garbage also successfully blocked many women from approaching him. Now let him recruit the crew and share a boat with others. What is the difference between this and hell? No, save money as soon as possible and go to the City of Water to find Frankie to design a mechanical boat. This way you can avoid sharing the same boat with others. Bai Han immediately strengthened his belief in his heart. According to the timeline, it should be 2 years before Luffy went to sea. Frankie has now secretly returned to the water capital and created the Frankie family. Presumably Frankie doesn't want the world government to know that he is still alive. No matter how bad it is, Frankie probably doesn't want the world government to know that the design of Pluton is in his hands. No matter how bad it is, Frankie doesn't want to see his senior brother being threatened, right? At that time, it should not be a big problem to ask Frankie to help build a purely mechanical ship. The only question that needs to be considered is whether Bailey in his hand is enough. After the hard work of the past few days, I now have about 57 million berry. Including the 12 million berry found in the cabin before, the total is 69 million berry, which is far from enough to build a qualified ship. Bai Han sighed helplessly. The design template of Thousand Sunny is exactly what his favorite ship looks like. And if you want to build such a ship, it is estimated that you will need 300 million Baileys to guarantee the bottom line. After all, the timber price of Thousand Sunny's keel alone has exceeded 200 million Baileys, not to mention the various decorations and designs. With his current savings of less than 70 million berry, he is still far from that goal. Bai Han raised his hand and picked up the bounty list from the side, flipping through it. He was not strong enough before, so some bounties were directly passed by him. However, now he has not only reached the special Jonin level of chakra, but also activated the Two-Tomo Sharingan, which has greatly increased his strength compared to before. It is enough to hunt down those pirates who were not sure to win before. Creek Pirates. Crick, leader of the Creek Pirates, bounty 17 million berry. Ajin, the captain of Creek Pirates, bounty 12 million berry. Second captain of Creek Pirates TB Baloo, bounty 10 million berry. Creek Pirates staff admiral, bounty 8 million berry. Crick, oh, the pirate group who was cut back from the Grand Line by Hawkeye in the original book. Bai Han came a little interested. Of course, it's not because of how strong the Creek Pirates are, but because the combined bounty of this group of people is high enough. The Creek Pirates is a huge pirate fleet with more than 5,000 people and 50 ships. If it was before the change, Bai Han would not be sure to deal with it. After all, that was a full 5,000 people. Even if it was 5,000 pigs, it would not be so easy to kill them. Now, though, Two-Tomo Sharingan is on, and after having a special Jonin level chakra, it is definitely easier than before to deal with those 5,000 people. This order is not bad. If it is resolved, at least close to 100 million berry will be obtained. Bai Han muttered and pulled out the bounty list of Creek Pirates. Then, he moved on to the next target. It's just that the next pirate group is either too far away, and it takes too much time to rush there. Either the bounty is too low to arouse his interest. It wasn't until Bai Han saw the pirate group that appeared in the second original book that he stopped reading. Dragon Pirates. Evil Dragon Pirates Captain Evil Dragon, bounty 20 million berry. Dragon Pirates Leader Crow Obi, bounty 9 million berry. Evil Dragon Pirates Officer Hachi, reward 8 million berry. Dragon Pirates Chief Ju, bounty 5.5 million berry. Dragon Pirates, almost forgot about this guy. Bai Han touched his chin, and listed the Dragon Pirates as his second hunting target. Because Murlocs are born with 10 times the strength of ordinary people. Therefore, the bounties of these Murloc pirates of the Dragon Pirates are generally quite high, at least more than 300,000 berry, which is enough to catch up with the bounties of some small cadres of the pirates. Dozens of Murloc pirates add up, and there are at least 20 to 30 million berry. The total harvest is not much less than that of the Creek Pirates. And because there are fewer people, it is less difficult to eliminate. Of course, the level of trouble hunting the dragon pirates is definitely much higher than that of the creek pirates. The main reason is due to the relatively strong strength of the dragon pirates. At the beginning, the dragon pirates wiped out the Marine Division Commodore Bryn Commodore, including the fleet it led. This kind of strength probably needs at least Naval Headquarters Lieutenant Colonel or even Naval Headquarters Colonel to deal with it. With his current strength, I'm afraid it's still a bit reluctant to deal with it. Therefore, Bai Han specifically listed it as the second hunting target. Of course, the main reason is that the creek pirates are already preparing to go to the Grand Line. The dragon pirates took route on Zumaida Island, which is relatively easier to find. Therefore, Bai Han listed the dragon pirates as the second hunting target. After finishing these two pirate groups, plus the bounty from the beast pirates, my money should be about the same. I'm really looking forward to it, my ship. Bai Han put down the thick bounty list in his hand, his eyes were full of fighting spirit. And after finalizing the next hunting target, Bai Han also looked at the previous gains. Combat tools like kunai are nothing to look at. Whether it is good to use or not, he has already experienced it before, and it is indeed a high-quality ninja tool. Even in the world of pirates, the quality is enough to be called excellent. At least when colliding with weapons that are close to famous knives, there is no such thing as a curling blade. After attaching chakra, I am afraid that it can be compared with famous swords in all aspects. Plus, ninjutsu is actually nothing to look at. This thing is equivalent to a trigger, the power depends on how much chakra outputs. Now this is only equivalent to the total amount of chakra of the special Jonin, even if all the chakra is input, how powerful can it be? Therefore, Bai Han is most concerned about those special props. For example, the Uchiha battle suit rewarded this time. Uchiha battle suit. After wearing it, it can increase chakra recovery speed by 30%, increase ninjutsu release speed by 30%, and increase ninjutsu power by 30%, and Uchiha battle suit has body adaptation, automatic cleaning and self-repair functions. Next to the information about the Uchiha battlesuit is its appearance. What is shown in the picture is the high-necked robe common to the Uchiha clan, with a huge round fan logo branded on the back, which is very eye-catching. In terms of appearance, the Uchiha battle suit definitely meets Bai Han's aesthetics. Moreover, the Uchiha battle suit rewarded by this system also has so many increases. Bai Han has absolutely no reason to dislike such a dress. Bullfrog. In this way, it will be more secure to take down the creek pirates. There was a bit of excitement in Bai Han's eyes, and he immediately returned to the cabin to take a shower. He can't wait to put on this shirt. On the other hand, Bai Han's easy killing of the beast pirates also reached Morgan's ears through the news bird nearby. Oh, East Blue, which is the weakest sea, has a suspected Mara fruit ability. It's interesting. Morgan's, who is in the bird fruit albatross form, groped his chin with interest in his eyes. He has already figured out how to create a big news next. The headline of the new issue is called, Shock. The hometown of One Piece, a suspected Mara fruit-capable person appeared, and he is also a bounty hunter. The era of great pirates may end here, ha ha ha, such news it will definitely sell well. Morgans looked at the news headline he had written with satisfaction and laughed. Logia Devil Fruit's gimmick is big enough. In addition, the opponent is in the hometown of Roger, the Pirate King, and is also a bounty hunter who is naturally opposed to pirates. Enough to make his news get enough attention. As for what happens to the overhyped guy, Morgans doesn't care. Anyway, as long as your own news can sell well, it's fine. With the help of Morgans, the influence of Bai Han's incident quickly covered the entire East Blue, and even gradually spread to the Grand Line. Of course, the people on the Grand Line naturally just regarded Bai Han as a joke. Having seen real strong men, they know exactly what level East Blue's pirates with a bounty of 10 million berry are. The only thing that made them pay attention a little bit was the fact that Bai Han was suspected of being a Logia Devil Fruit Mara fruit capable user. Logia Demon Fruit power is basically invincible in the first half of the Grand Line where armament hockey is not yet popular. All it takes is a little talent and the ability to develop Logia Devil Fruit. Well, Logia Demon Fruit power can become a powerhouse in a very short time. Therefore, many pirates even squatted directly on the only way to the Grand Line, preparing to intercept Baihan, who had just stepped into the Grand Line and had not yet grown up. No pirate wants to see a bounty hunter with a Logia Devil Fruit ability grow up. Of course, this is just what the pirates in the first half of the Grand Line thought. As for the powerful pirates in the second half of the Grand Line, no one took Baihan seriously. Basically every few years, Logia Demon Fruit power will appear in this sea. However, there are very few people who can finally make it to the second half of the Grand Line, which is the New World, and those who can't even make it to the New World are not worthy of their attention at all. And Marine naturally noticed Baihan, but Marine basically had the same idea as the New World pirates. Just a Logia Demon Fruit power. Although it is indeed very rare, there are 4 of them in the Marine. Together with the powerful Monkey D. Dorag before, that's a total of 5. Therefore, Logia Demon Fruit power is not so unusual. In addition, Baihan himself is a well-known bounty hunter who is merciless to pirates. Therefore, even the Hawk Marine like Akainu has a very high opinion of Baihan. At least there will be no hostility to Baihan. Of course, these are just external influences, and the biggest sensation is naturally the local people of East Blue. For the name of East Blue Shira, the locals of East Blue are naturally clear. The other party comes and goes without a trace. Every time he appears, it is to deal with the pirates. He never harass the people. Even if he needs supplies, he will pay the corresponding property. It can be said that there is no commoner in East Blue who does not have a good impression of this East Blue Shira. However, they never expected that this East Blue Shira would be so powerful that he could even compete with the legendary One Piece Roger. It was even hailed in the newspapers as the existence that would end this era of great pirates full of crimes. This naturally makes every East Blue native feel extremely honored. The civilians on almost every island are talking about Baihan. Oh my god, Master East Blue Shira is so handsome. I want to give birth to a monkey for him. Even villains like the Beast Pirates have been wiped out. Master East Blue Shira may really have hoped to end the era of great pirates. I declare that Master East Blue Shira will be my idol from now on. I will bang and bang against the wall for Master East Blue Shira. Of course, some people praise Baihan, and some people are not optimistic about Baihan. These people are basically people who have been to sea and have seen the horror of this sea. Therefore, they did not fully trust the information in the newspaper, and even had full doubts about Baihan. It's just the Beast Pirates. They can't be considered the strongest in East Blue. There is also the Creek Pirates with the largest number of people. There is also the Dragon Pirates with the highest bounty. East Blue Shira can still combine these two. The pirate group has also been dealt with, so I will obey him. That's right, the Beast Pirates' bounty has just exceeded 10 million Baileys, and the Creek Pirates and Dragon Pirates have more than one pirate with a bounty exceeding 10 million Baileys. This is not true at all. A class. If East Blue Shira can solve these 2 pirate groups, we will obey him. Meanwhile, on the streets of a small town in East Blue, a girl with orange hair and wearing a sailor costume looked at the newspaper in her hand, and hope could not help but ignite in her eyes. Logia Demon Fruit power. Maybe it will work. The orange-haired girl, Nami, murmured excitedly. After wandering the sea for so many years, she still knows something about devil fruit. Even the most common devil fruit is enough to give ordinary people unimaginable power, and it is easy to create a strong man. And Logia Demon Fruit power is one of the best. It can easily give people the power to destroy the world. Today's Marine 3 Admiral is Logia Demon Fruit power. Each Admiral is a mobile scourge that can easily change the environment of an island. And speaking closer, as far as Nami has seen, the White Demon Smoker, Colonel Marine guarding Rog Town, is also a Logia Demon Fruit power. The opponent has an undead body that can turn into smoke. Neither hacking nor bombing with guns has any effect on Smoker. If such a strong person wants to attack the evil dragon and his gang, even if the evil dragon is the pirate with the highest bounty in East Blue, then there is only one dead end. Even if you pay a high price, you must ask East Blue Shira to deal with the evil dragon gang. Thinking of this, Nami immediately made a decision. Although, the evil dragon made a promise to her that as long as she paid 100 million Baileys, she would let Kokoja village go. However, Nami doesn't think the dragon will be a man of his word. Now that there is another solution, she will naturally not miss the opportunity to try it out. At this moment, Bai Han didn't know that Morgan's intervention had caused such a commotion. Of course, even if he knew about Bai Han, he wouldn't care too much. At best, he just wrote Morgan's down in a small notebook. For Bai Han, who urgently needs to fight against a large number of powerful enemies, the more powerful enemies, the better. Even if he really encounters an enemy he can't beat, relying on the ability to walk on water and the ninjutsu of clone technique is enough for him to complete a strategic retreat. Of course, Bai Han at this moment doesn't know what will happen to him after going to the Grand Line in the future. At this moment, he is driving the boat with difficulty, leaving the marine base, heading towards the direction of Rog Town. As the place of Roger's execution and the last island before going to the Grand Line, the town of Rog has special significance for those pirates who want to conquer the Grand Line. Almost every pirate who has the dream of One Piece will pass through this place before going to the Grand Line. In addition, this is also the last stop before entering the Grand Line. Even if it is for supplies, those pirate groups will also come here. However, some pirates will choose to enter in a low-key manner, while others will choose to make a high-profile appearance. As such a large pirate fleet, the Creek pirates will inevitably choose to resupply in Rog Town. Therefore, although Bai Han does not know when the Creek pirates will go to the Grand Line. However, squatting in the town of Rog can definitely wait for someone. And, maybe he'll be able to make a little extra cash while in Rog. Putting the last stack of berry into the treasure chest, Bai Han clapped his hands in satisfaction. 22 million berry. Beast pirates are quite valuable. Adding the previous 69 million berry, he now has a full 91 million berry. With a gap of 300 million berry, there are only 2 small goals left. Unfortunately, his strength is still too weak. Otherwise, if you want to attack those pirates with a bounty of over 100 million, you only need to pick 2 or 3 pirate groups, and basically the bounty will allow him to build a ship he likes. Glancing at the sun that was gradually shifting to the side, Bai Han sighed, and came to the rudder to readjust the direction as if appointed. It's so annoying to steer by myself, a mechanical ship. I must have an advanced fully automatic mechanical ship. Amidst Bai Han's complaints, the 3-masted sailboat slowly headed towards the direction of Rog Town. Time passed quickly, and half a month later the town of Rog finally appeared before Bai Han's eyes. Bai Han, who had been exhausted by steering and adjusting the sails, suddenly had a flash of light in his eyes, and jumped onto the bow excitedly. Land. Finally, there is no need to continue sailing at sea. These days, he had realized the complexity of operating a 3-masted sailing ship by himself. Although the space of the 3-masted sailboat is indeed much larger than that of his previous small sampan, the comfort level of living has been improved by more than one level. Moreover, the 3-masted sailboat is far beyond the reach of small sampans in terms of stability and speed. However, the difficulty of operating a 3-masted sailboat has also increased exponentially. If it weren't for the great strength endowed by chakra, Bai Han wouldn't be able to handle the 3-masted sailboat at all. It's a pity that there is no shadow clone technique, otherwise he would definitely be much calmer. No, I must make money to build my mechanical ship as soon as possible. If this continues, I will die of exhaustion on this sooner or later. Bai Han murmured firmly. Moreover, the climate in the first half of the Grand Line is much more extreme than East Blue. The climate in New World is even more extreme than the first half of the Grand Line, and hailstones of tens of meters in size may even fall from the sky. Just because he can handle a bark in East Blue doesn't mean he can do it on the Grand Line. That is a terrible natural disaster that can really kill people. Soon, under Bai Han's hard work, the 3-masted sailing ship slowly entered the port of Rog Town. The flag with the giant Uchiha fan flying on top of the ship immediately attracted the attention of everyone in the port. It's East Blue Shira. He actually came to Rog Town. Is he going to the Grand Line? It's normal for such a strong person to go to the Grand Line. After all, that is the home field of a strong person like them. If I remember that ship well, it should be the Beast of the Beast Pirates. I didn't expect it to become the spoils of East Blue Shira. Tisk tisk. Is he Logia demon fruit power? I'm looking forward to it. There are cryptic glances everywhere in the crowd. Many of the passing crowd in the port at this moment are actually pirates. On the one hand, these pirates came to pay homage to the place where One Piece King Roger was executed, and on the other hand, they were preparing for the Grand Line for supplies. Naturally, these pirates paid special attention to Bai Han's arrival. Of course, there are also many pirates who want to get rid of Bai Han and become famous from then on. After all, East Blue's pirates are notoriously weak. Many pirates here have little knowledge, even what is devil fruit, and which 4 of 4 emperors have never heard of it. Even Zoro in the East Blue period, before encountering Hawkeye, felt that the world's #1 swordsman was nothing more than that. Chapter 11. Ignoring all the gazes from around, Bai Han got off the boat with a bunch of reward orders and wallets after he tied the boat. Wearing the Uchiha combat uniform, he instantly became the most beautiful boy in the audience. Pair it with a hairstyle that is almost the same as Madara's today. Except that the face is quite different from Madara's, it is simply a replica of Uchiha Madara. Even just looking at it is enough to make people inexplicably afraid. The originally noisy pier even became quiet because of this. Everyone only dared to whisper, for fear of alarming Bai Han and causing Bai Han's dissatisfaction. Is this the East Blue Shira? Just looking at it makes me feel like a mountain of corpses and a sea of blood rushing towards us. Wow, he's really handsome. And this logo, does it have any special meaning? I don't know, but it's really handsome. I heard that many saved towns in East Blue have already hung such signs. It is said that no pirate dares to approach such a town. Really, does East Blue Shira have such great prestige? A group of people gathered together and whispered. Especially those whose hometowns have been persecuted by pirates have begun to consider whether to fly the flag of East Blue Shira in their homes. However, the pirates in the crowd also began to surge under the tide. At this moment, it is the time for them to become famous. Moreover, the population is now so dense that it is almost impossible for them to be discovered if they hide in it. As long as he secretly shot black guns, he would seriously injure East Blue Shira or even kill him directly. After all, their names are a sensation in the whole world. After all, the East Blue Shira in front of him was hailed in the newspaper as the guy who would end the era of great pirates. Soon, a black gun was stretched out silently from among the crowd, aiming straight at the defenseless Bai Han. Go to hell, East Blue Shira. Lousy will accept your fame. The pirate holding the gun had a crazy smile on his face. He seemed to have seen himself becoming famous all over the world and becoming a big pirate who could carve up the world like the 4 emperors. Snapped. The crisp sound of gunshots filled the air with a puff of gunpowder smoke. A round bullet with scalding temperature came out immediately, and shot towards Bai Han's head. Everything happened so suddenly that even the pier fell into a momentary silence. No one expected that someone would actually shoot at the port of Rog Town. You know, this is the camp of that white evil spirit. And what they care most about is whether Bai Han, who is suddenly attacked, can react, and whether this rising East Blue legend will end here. However, facing the sudden attack, Bai Han didn't even change his face in the slightest. Suddenly, a kunai appeared between his fingers. Then he swung towards the direction of the sound. Ding! With a crisp sound, a spark bloomed on kunai's blade. Then, the red bullet that was scorched by the flames in the barrel was cut into 2 halves, flew in different directions, and finally fell powerlessly to the ground. This scene directly shocked everyone present. Although this move is not a powerful method for those strong people in this world. But for the vast majority of people who grew up in East Blue, this method of coming first and cutting bullets easily with a blade is no different from a miracle. Hiss. Bullet. The bullet was actually split. How did he do it? Could it be that East Blue Shira is still the legendary swordsman? It's too strong. Only such a strong man is qualified to end the era of great pirates created by Roger. A group of people exclaimed one after another. For a moment, they actually forgot that someone shot and attacked Bai Han. Even the pirate who shot and attacked was stunned, his hands holding the gun trembling violently. At the same time, he murmured, "Impossible. Absolutely impossible. How could someone split a bullet? I don't believe it. This must be fake." Saying that, the pirate pulled the bolt of the gun, ready to fire the second shot. However, how could Bai Han give this person a second chance? In just an instant, Bai Han came in front of the pirate, and grabbed the pirate's neck with his big gloved hand. "Do you want to dance too?" Bai Han stared at the scarlet eyes that had already activated the Sharingan, looked at the pirate in front of him, and asked with some doubts. He really didn't expect that he was attacked by pirates just after getting off the boat. Could it be that the pirates here can't wait to seek death? He just killed the leader of the beast pirates with a bounty of more than 10 million. That's already someone who stands at the top of the East Blue Pirates. Haven't these people received the news yet? However, Bai Han turned his head and thought about it, and it seemed that he could not understand it. After all, even when Kizaru appeared on the Sabayati archipelago for the first time, some pirates dared to shoot Kizaru's head. There is nothing this group of pirates can't do. It stands to reason that the pirates at the end of the first half of the Grand Line, Sabayati archipelago, should have seen or heard of something like Logia devil fruit, right? This makes it difficult for him to imagine whether the pirates in this world have such a thing as a brain. Hurry up, I've got him under control. The pirate who was pinched by Bai Han's neck was not afraid, but even grabbed Bai Han's arm and yelled. Bai Han, as expected of the pirates who were about to enter the Grand Line, they are really rampant. Bai Han sighed, and then his hands suddenly exerted force. Click, accompanied by the sound of bone breaking. The pirate who was held in his hands was crushed and his neck was broken. At the same time, under the observation of two Tomo Sharingan, Bai Han also noticed that many people around him moved, pulling out various weapons from some hidden places around them. Moreover, many of these people appeared on the reward list. Obviously, those who planned to attack him were all pirates. Although I don't know why the other party would do this. But it doesn't matter, in front of these godlike eyes, everything around is like a movie that has been slowed down dozens of times, and everything is under Bai Han's control. No wonder the Uchiha clan swells up like that. It's really hard not to swell up in front of such powerful eyes. After sighing for a moment, Bai Han disappeared in place in an instant. When Bai Han came out next time, there were already more than a dozen people in the crowd clutching their throats, their eyes falling down in horror. Just two Tomo Sharingan already has the ability to make the surroundings seem to slow down dozens of times. And if the stronger 3 Tomo Sharingan is activated, the pupil power will be increased dozens of times. At that time, the scene thousands of meters away can be clearly presented in front of the eyes, as powerful as the eyes of an eagle. And, vision is just the tiniest incidental feature of Sharingan. 2 Tomo Sharingan's copy ability. 3 Tomo Sharingan has the ability to spy on people's hearts and powerful illusion skills. Mangekyo Sharingan is enough to summon the ability called Suzano, the power of the gods, and the heaven-defying pupil technique that is different for each eye. Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan has the ability to summon the full version of Suzano, and the power of pupils that can never be exhausted. All of these things are enough to make the Uchiha clan swell and proud. Fortunately, this terrifying power now belongs to me. And I am destined to become the strongest Uchiha. The corner of Bai Han's mouth raised a slight arc, and he murmured in his heart. As long as it can be perfectly integrated with Madara. Then, even I am, the king of celestial dragons who has never officially appeared in the theater, is not a concern at all. 6 Paths Madara is even scarier than Otsutsuki Kagaya. If 6 Paths Madara can live to Boruto Pass, Otsutsuki will not be enough to kill. Even the star of the Otsutsuki family may be directly taken away by Madara in a wave. At this moment, those pirates whose throats had been slit fell to the ground with a plop. The scattered weapons are enough to prove the identities of these people. After a brief silence, the entire port became boiling. Master East Blue Shira is too strong. I didn't even see his movements clearly. It's so handsome. These pirates are all W. Master East Blue Shira did it beautifully. You dare to sneak attack Master East Blue Shira. These pirates. Those civilians were not afraid of Bai Han. Because, Bai Han has never harmed civilians in the process of hunting pirates, and this can be said to be the only bounty hunter who cares about the lives of civilians. Coupled with Bai Han's hatred of pirates. And every time I hear news about pirates, I will rush over to support them as soon as possible. This quickly made Bai Han the favorite of most East Blue civilians. Even if Bai Han killed the pirates in front of them at this moment, it didn't arouse the slightest resentment from these civilians. After all, even 10,000 deaths are not enough for these pirates who have lost their morality and bottom line. Even those pirates in the crowd who hadn't had time to make a move were also sweating and praising along with the civilians. They are afraid that once they behave out of place, they will become black spots on the white paper, which will attract the attention of that demon. The terrifying speed of East Blue Shira let them finally know the horror of those strong people in this world. However, the praises from everyone at the port made Han's whole body stiff. As a social terrorist, being watched by so many people is already very scary. What's more, at the moment everyone is discussing about himself. Han feels that his whole body is going to be bad. Fortunately, the Uchiha combat uniform is a high-necked garment that can cover the face and only reveal a pair of eyes. Coupled with this hedgehog-like long hair covering, this gave Han a great sense of security, allowing him to leave the port quickly with his head down. However, before Han walked out of the port, a group of Marines in white uniforms rushed towards him. As for the leader, he had a white prickly hair, 2 cigars in his mouth, and several cigars in his chest. He looked like a full-blown smoker. At the same time, the open chest made this Marine look like a soldier. Of course, the most eye-catching thing was the weapon wrapped in white cloth on the opponent's back. Smoke Fruit Ability User, Smoker. There was a bit of seriousness in Han's eyes. This is the first Logia demon fruit power he has ever seen. Although not as powerful as Marine 3 Admiral, he is still a guy with great potential. If it wasn't for always disobeying orders and offending his boss one after another, he wouldn't have been sent to a place like East Blue. At the same time, it will definitely not be a mere colonel rank like it is now. The guy in front of him, even if he put aside the smoke and smoke fruit, at least has the strength of the Naval Headquarters Commodore level. If adding the ability of Yan fruit, Smoker is at least at the Marine Rear Admiral level. Smoker is definitely the most powerful existence Han has ever seen since he came to this world. And Smoker looked at Han with a more serious expression. Although he didn't feel too strong aura from Han's body, the identity of the other party's suspected Mara fruit ability user was enough to attract his attention. As a Logia Devil Fruit user, Smoker naturally knows the powerful ability of Logia Devil Fruit. Even if he has the smoke fruit that is not good at attacking, it also allows him to have the strength to crush the first half of the Grand Line. What's more, it is suspected that the attack power is second only to Akainu Admiral's Mara fruit. So it was you, East Blue Shira Han, did you make the noise before? Smoker, who was nearly 2.1 meters tall, took a deep breath on his cigar, looking down at Han, who was only 1.8 meters tall. He is already the standard height of his previous life, but he still feels like a third-class crippled Han. How can people in Pirate World be so ridiculously tall? This made him, who managed to be 1.8 meters tall, how to live. And he is wearing it. In the future, I don't know if there will be a chance to continue to grow 1 or 2 meters taller, and have the Admiral's standard height. Seeing that Han didn't intend to answer him, Smoker frowned. Although the bounty hunter in front of him has a good reputation, even he can't hate him. But isn't it somewhat impolite to be so ignorant? Moreover, just staring at him in a daze, how the hell would he continue the conversation? For a moment, the two stared at each other with wide eyes. It's just that Smoker didn't know at all that Han was simply having an attack of social fear, distracting himself while thinking about things. As a result, Han mistakenly thought that he had actually spoken. In other words, Han is actually waiting for Smoker's answer at this moment. At the moment, Tashigi, who was standing beside Smoker, held Shiger in his arms, pushed the glasses on the bridge of his nose, and at the same time muttered to himself, "This East Blue Shira looks really good looking, I'm afraid it can be called the most beautiful woman in East Blue. But this character is a bit too cold. But will he anger Colonel Smoker like this?" Think of the picture of Smoker being irritated and making an angry shot. Tashigi couldn't help worrying about Han for a while. In the end, it was the civilians at the port who decided to meet their eyes. After all, in the eyes of these civilians, Smoker, with a cigarette in his mouth and his chest open, doesn't look like a good person. In addition, Smoker is much higher than Han. This looks very much like a picture of a Marine bully trying to bully a weak and helpless little pitiful. Therefore, even with fear in their hearts, a large number of civilians rushed out of the port to block Han, repeating what happened before. and severely reprimanded Smoker for his bullying behavior, scolding Smoker for a moment. However, after hearing the words of these civilians, he finally understood what happened at the dock. This group of pirates dare to use force at the port of Rog Town. They simply don't pay attention to me at all. Come here, immediately block the entire port. We must not let every pirate appear here. Smoker shouted and ordered with a livid face. Smoker naturally didn't care about how to treat civilians. Although Smoker looks fierce, Smoker is indeed a dovish marine, and he is very kind to civilians. And Smoker's move undoubtedly made the pirates in the crowd panic. At this moment, they also understand that if they don't do it now, after a while, when Marine slowly checks over, he will definitely be unable to leave. Therefore, these pirates immediately grab the weapons hidden beside them, wanting to make a final resistance. Bai-Han's eyelids twitched wildly watching Smoker's operation. Why can't you order secretly if you want to order? Can't wait to issue an order for the 4 emperors of New World to hear, right? It would be a strange thing if these pirates didn't respond at all. However, the situation was gradually getting out of control at this moment. Even if he spoke for himself to these civilians, Bai-Han would not let these pirates act recklessly. What's more, for these pirates to resist so hard, they must be carrying a bounty. Otherwise, they wouldn't have resisted so fiercely. And since the bounty is on his body, then these pirates are a group of moving Baileys. Glancing at Smoker, whose face changed drastically and rushed into the port, Bai-Han's eyes became a little more serious. He must move faster. As a Logia demon fruit power, Smoker needs AoE means. If he doesn't hurry up, he won't even be able to drink the soup. Whoosh! Thinking of this, Bai-Han instantly activated the Sharingan and disappeared in place. When it reappeared, several pirates on the port had already fallen to the ground clutching their throats in shock. Then, Bai-Han threw out more than a dozen shurikens. Several pirates screamed and fell into a pool of blood, gradually losing their vital signs. These pirates with the highest bounty of less than 1 million berry, for today's Bai-Han, killing them is as easy as chopping vegetables and melons. Even with kunai and shuriken, the lives of these pirates can be easily harvested. But, not enough. He glanced at the dozens of pirates covered in white smoke with pained expressions on their faces. A somewhat pained expression appeared on Bai-Han's face. The AoE ability of Logia Devil Fruit is too strong. Especially in the case of abusing food, it is even more killing in pieces. Without the shadow clone technique, there's no way he can match Smoker's arrest speed. Unless, he can use a wide range of ninjutsu. He glanced at the civilians who had basically run away from the port, as well as the pirates who subconsciously huddled together out of fear. Bai-Han's eyes suddenly lit up. The opportunity has come. His hands quickly completed the mudra, and at the same time, chakra in his body was also frantically mobilized, condensing at the throat. Fire-style fire extinguishment. The B-level ninjutsu previously rewarded for reaching 60% fusion with the boy Madara was immediately displayed by Haohuo Mie. Boom! Immediately, a sea of flames covering a range of nearly 10 meters spewed out from Bai-Han's mouth. The scorching flame instantly engulfed dozens of pirates who were in that position before. In a burst of screams, the group of pirates were immediately purified, leaving only dozens of charcoal on the ground. As a B-level ninjutsu, the power of the Great Fireball technique is naturally not comparable to that of the C-level ninjutsu Great Fireball technique. The scorching high-temperature flame is even enough to reach thousands of degrees. In addition, Bai-Han used nearly 1/3 of his chakra to perform the fire extinction. It made the power of this ninjutsu directly approach the category of A-level ninjutsu. Not to mention the dozens of pirates whose highest bounty does not exceed 1 million berry. Even if a ship is in front of it, it will also be burned. And this astonishing scene directly shocked everyone present. Even Smoker also raised his eyebrows. Bai-Han's identity as a Maramara fruit ability user seems to have been hammered into stone. If it is not a Maramara fruit ability user, who can spew out such a big flame? It turns out that Master East Blue Shira is really a Maramara fruit capable person. It seems that Master East Blue Shira really has the possibility to end this era of great pirates. It's so handsome. Master East Blue Shira just rushed out when he saw the turmoil of the pirates. He is like a hero. The Maramara fruit should belong to Master East Blue Shira. Only Master East Blue Shira is qualified to control this Logia devil fruit. Bang 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 against the big wall for Master East Blue Shira. I love you, Master East Blue Shira. After the brief shock, the civilians gave out loud cheers like a tsunami. It's a pity that Bai Han didn't understand the reason for the cheering of these civilians. Mara Mara fruit. When did I become a Mara Mara fruit capable user? And why am I about to end the era of great pirates? Isn't this rumor a little too outrageous? Startled by the sudden cheers, Bai Han was confused. He felt like a big star standing on the stage at this moment, surrounded by countless fanatical fans. This sudden sense of staring made Bai Han feel a little uncomfortable. He could only focus on hunting those pirates to eliminate his discomfort. With the joint efforts of Bai Han and Marine, all the more than 300 pirates who sneaked into the port were killed or arrested. And Bai Han alone hunted down nearly 70 pirates. However, this result is much worse than that of Smoker. Smoker alone captured nearly 200 pirates, and the rest were captured by Tashigi and a group of Marine soldiers. In terms of large-scale AoE capabilities, Logia Demon Fruit Power has an absolute advantage. At least, that's how it looked before Bai Han activated the Mangekyo Sharingan and took possession of Susanoo. Oh, it seems that I am better than that. Smoker, who had a cigar in his mouth and put his weapon back behind his back, walked to Bai Han and said in a somewhat yin and yang tone. In fact, he usually doesn't do this. Moreover, Bai Han was the first to deal with the pirates. The move to ensure the safety of civilians to the greatest extent has also been approved by his Smoker. However, he just couldn't understand Bai Han's previous behavior of ignoring him. A special, impolite guy, who is actually less qualified than Smoker. At least Smoker knows that when others speak, he has to answer no matter what. 65. At this time, Bai Han suddenly spoke. Smoker froze for a moment, and asked with some doubts, "What?" "I just killed 65 pirates. Remember to settle their bounties for me later." Bai Han looked at Smoker seriously, and said word by word. "That's 65 pirates. No matter how worthless these pirates are, there should still be a bounty of tens of thousands of berry. After all, this is the last stop for East Blue to enter the Grand Line, and the pirates who can come here are somewhat capable. These 65 pirates can give him close to 1 million berry even again. Enough to make his boat have many more planks. Ah. Ha. Smoker was taken aback by Bai Han's words, and it took him quite a while to react. It's just that he didn't expect that the first conversation this East Blue Asura had with him was to ask him for money. Could it be that the current bounty hunters are so poor? Or is it only the bounty hunter Bai Han who is like this? Smoker looked at Bai Han with complicated eyes, and said, "Marine will never owe bounties, you can rest assured about this. After we verify the identities of these people, we will settle the corresponding bounties for you." Although those dozens of pirates were all burned to charcoal by Bai Han. But it doesn't matter, Marine has a dedicated battlefield recorder, and naturally has the ability to tell who these cokes were before. I trust you guys on this point. In terms of the speed of bounty distribution, I would like to call your Marine the strongest. Bai Han nodded in agreement. He wasn't worried that Marine would steal his bounty. How much bounty these pirates have, not only will Marine not owe a penny, but will send it as quickly as possible. Otherwise, who can we count on to deal with these pirates in the future? Although the bounty hunter basically hunted some pirates with low rewards. But often it is these pirates who are the scum with the largest number in this sea and the most harmful to ordinary civilians. Marine doesn't have that much energy to deal with these lowly pirates. So this task can only be handed over to bounty hunters. And because of this, Marine has specially formulated an iron law for the bounty collection system, and all Marine divisions must distribute the bounty to the bounty hunters as soon as possible. No matter who it is, the slightest bit of greed is not allowed. Otherwise, even the eldest son of Marshal Marine will be dealt with severely. Smoker, Tashigi and a group of Marines came together. Although the East Blue Asura in front of him was indeed praising their Marine, why couldn't they be happy at all? However, Smoker was very satisfied with handling so many pirates at once this time. There are more than 300 pirates, enough to be equivalent to a slightly larger pirate group. Plus those pirates with a bounty of hundreds of thousands of berry. This kind of configuration, apart from the lack of a powerful captain and main crew, even among the many pirate groups in the entire East Blue, it is enough to be called luxurious. The only pity is that Bai Han killed too many pirates. No, it should be said that Bai Han never left anyone alive. But the other party is not from their marine, and he is not qualified to take care of Bai Han's killing intent. Are you going to go to the Grand Line next? Smoker relighted 2 cigars for himself, and asked casually. He felt that a strong player like Bai Han should not stay in a small place like East Blue all the time, and that Grand Line belonged to the opponent's stage. If it wasn't for always disobeying orders, he should also arrest those pirates in the Grand Line, right? Unexpectedly, Bai Han's body froze when he was suddenly asked a question. But this time, Bai Han answered Smoker's question without distraction. Bai Han shook his head and replied, "Not yet." Smoker was taken aback for a moment, and then became interested immediately. He turned his body in the direction of Bai Han, and then asked, "What? Is there anything else in this East Blue that attracts you?" Bai Han nodded and said, "It is said that the Creek Pirates are going to the Grand Line soon. I plan to get rid of them first. First Hope Marine can provide some convenience." Regarding his purpose, Bai Han has no intention of hiding Smoker. However, it is still unrealistic for him to destroy the Creek Pirates with 50 pirate ships and more than 5,000 people by himself. Not to mention whether his current chakra is enough. Bai Han can't catch up with the other party just by spreading out and running away. Again, even if 5,000 pigs were placed there, it would take about 10 minutes to kill them, let alone more than 5,000 people. Among them, there are also pirates with bounties exceeding tens of millions, such as the Ghost Man Agent and the Pirate Admiral Creek. By the time he got rid of the Ghost Man Agent and the Pirate Admiral Creek, the other pirates would have disappeared long ago. Therefore, he needs Marine to provide him with some help, to Rear Admiral and these pirates to intercept and create opportunities for him to hunt. You want to do something to the Creek Pirates? Smoker frowned slightly. It's not that he doubts that Bai Han has this strength. In fact, there are not many strong members of the Creek Pirates, even the captain is not ranked well in East Blue. But the most exaggerated part of the opponent is that there are really too many people. What is the concept of a lineup of 50 pirate ships and more than 5,000 pirates? Even if there is only 6 gate guns on the opposing pirate ship, 50 pirate ships add up to 300 guns. The opponent's fleet does not need to be too close to the coast. It only takes a few rounds to level the town of Rog. Therefore, even Smoker didn't want to provoke the Creek Pirates, so he could only let the other party go to the Grand Line to die. After all, this isn't naval headquarters. With the strength of Marine in Rog Town, even if they win the Creek Pirates, they will only suffer heavy losses. Even the town of Rog was hit hard. Bai Han saw Smoker's concern. So he said, "Don't worry, I'll place the battle on the sea so that it won't threaten the town of Rog. In addition, I need you to help me intercept the escape route of the Creek Pirates. As long as the Creek Pirates don't escape, with the recovery bonus of Uchiha's battle suit, Bai Han is sure to grind all 5,000 pirates to death." Smoker frowned when he heard Bai Han's words, "Fighting at sea. Do you know what you're talking about? Fighting with 50 pirate ships and more than 5,000 pirates at sea, even he dare not say such a thing, okay. Even if those pirates are not strong, they have guns and cannons in their hands. The firepower network composed of more than 5,000 pirates should not be underestimated. Even if Bai Han is a Logia Devil Fruit energy user like him, he cannot be afraid of physical attacks such as guns. But the impact brought by the bullets and cannonballs is still enough to repel a Logia Demon Fruit power like them. Once they fall into the sea, their Demon Fruit power can only wait to die. I know what I'm doing, so can you help me with this?" Bai Han made the request again with some pain in his flesh. In fact, bounty hunters can send a request to Marine and invite Marine to deal with pirates together. It's just that, in this way, the bounties obtained by those pirates who cooperate with Marine to hunt and kill will be directly reduced by 30% and become military exploits for fighting Marine. If it is not for the greatest extent to eat the Creek Pirates, Bai Han will not choose such a cooperation method. But Bai Han is also very clear that his strength is not enough to keep the Creek Pirates as a whole. After all, he must give priority to getting rid of the big heads of the Creek Pirates, that is, those captains and cadres whose bounties are close to 10 million or even more than 10 million berry. But in this way, all the leaders of the Creek pirates are dead, how could those younger brothers not run away? And as soon as they ran away, no matter how hard Bai Han killed them, he couldn't keep the other pirates of the Creek pirates. Therefore, rather than earning nothing at all, it is better to choose to give up part of the bounty. Smoker looked at Bai Han as if he was looking at a madman. Unexpectedly, the opponent's current strength is not as good as him, but he turned out to be even crazier than him. Even he didn't think of single-handedly fighting over 5,000 Creek pirates at sea. Although it is not that there is no chance of winning, as long as they can break into Creek's ship, it is not difficult to eliminate Creek and others. However, this is basically equivalent to putting yourself under a dangerous wall, which is a very risky move. After all, the opponent was a huge fleet consisting of 50 pirate ships. Just wanting to get close to the past is a very big problem. I'm afraid that before they get close, hundreds of shells will fly over, blasting the ship Bai Han is on into pieces. However, since the other party asked so, he would naturally not refuse. Bai Han can do his best, and it doesn't matter if he can't, anyway, it won't have the slightest impact on Marine. Since this is the case, then I agree. The Creek pirates will arrive near the town of Rog in 5 days. At that time, I will send warships to block their retreat. Smoker bit the cigar in his mouth and said in a deep voice. Bai Han nodded. In that case, see you in 5 days. After all, he turned around and walked out of the port, and there will be a fierce battle to be fought. Naturally, relying on his current weapon reserve is far from enough. Therefore, he must be fully prepared. As for the bounty collection of this group of pirates, Bai Han doesn't care. It was very easy for Tang Tang Marine to find him in Rog Town. After Bai Han left, Tashigi on the side said with a worried face, Colonel Smoker, is this East Blue Shira okay? If he dies, it will be a great loss to the world. Before Bai Han was here, she had some difficult words to say, otherwise it would be like mocking Bai Han for his lack of strength. And now that only he and his boss are here, Tashigi doesn't need to hide anymore. Smoker glanced at Tashigi whose heart was about to fly out. Dead-faced dog, I think if East Blue Asura dies, it's not a loss to this world, but a loss to you women. But that kid is really good looking. Even if he is called the #1 beauty in East Blue, he doesn't think it's an exaggeration. It's that temper that really stinks a bit. The whole person has a cold look, as if he got into the eyes of money. I don't know which woman will be so unlucky in the future and will fall into this guy's hands. Don't worry, if he is in danger, I will rescue him. Smoker replied, narrowing his eyes slightly. In all fairness, although Bai Han is a bounty hunter, he doesn't hate Bai Han. Whether it was Bai Han's deeds after he went to sea, or the other party's attitude towards civilians, he couldn't hate him at all. And he didn't think such a guy would become a pirate either. Therefore, he naturally didn't want such a guy to die in East Blue, in front of him. When Tashigi heard Smoker's promise, a look of joy suddenly appeared on his face. At the same time, he put his hands on his chest like a little girl and looked at Bai Han's leaving direction obsessively. Smoker. He still wanted to curse, Yango is going to die. After leaving the port, Bai Han immediately went to the weapon shop where Zoro went in the original plot. He wanted to try his luck here, to see if he could find the 3rd generation Goosh and get Shizu. In addition, by the way, let the boss hurry up and create a batch of combat materials such as kunai and shuriken. The reason for wanting 3rd generation Onitsu or Yukino is naturally because the sword is a better killing tool than kunai. And it also allows him to better exert the power of Uchiha-style swordsmanship, and use less chakra in the next kill. I just don't know if I have the luck of Zoro to find these 2 famous knives here that are comparable to Liang Kuei Dao Wugong. As for whether this would leave Zoro without a weapon, Bai Han didn't think much about it. He did like Zoro a lot in his previous life, but that was only limited to the paper man. When the two are really in the same world, who cares so much? Now he needs a weapon at his fingertips to fight, and there happens to be a weapon at his fingertips here, so this weapon naturally belongs to him. Welcome, what do you need? Accompany Bai Han into the weapon shop. The boss with a unique hairstyle, who is obviously Mediterranean but not completely Mediterranean, asked with a smile while holding his hands and squinting his eyes. However, when the weapon shop owner saw Bai Han's appearance clearly, his expression changed immediately. At the same time, even his tone became stammered. East. Master East Blue Shira, the owner of the weapon shop, who had a formulaic smile on his face, immediately became enthusiastic. He had somewhat inquired about what happened at the port just now. Those crazy pirates wanted to attack Lord East Blue Shira at the port, but Master East Blue Shira killed them all. He could see the scorching flames clearly even thousands of meters away. It is his glory that such a strong person can visit his weapon shop. In the future, as soon as he puts out this advertisement, even the legendary Master Shira of East Blue will come to patronize his small shop, so his weapon shop will still be crowded in the future. Thinking of this, the eyes of the weapon shop owner suddenly became more fiery. Master East Blue Asura, is there anything I can do for you? The owner of the weapon shop folded his hands on his chest and looked at Bai-Han expectantly. Can you help me build 800 kunai, 2,000 shurikens and 5,000 copies within these 3 days? Bai-Han casually took out these 3 items and threw them on the table in front of the weapon shop owner. With these ninja tools, it is almost enough for him to fight this battle. It's a pity that I couldn't get the detonator from the fusion system. Otherwise, the next battle will become easier. What weapon is this? A look of bewilderment flashed across the face of the weapon shop owner, and then he picked up a handful of kunai to check. Such a short weapon, let's say it is a dagger, but this thing has a 4-edged blade, just like a short sword. But this thing is a short sword, but this weapon is much shorter than the short sword. Even a weapon shop owner like him who has seen countless weapons has never seen such a strange weapon. Can this thing really kill people? It would be more convenient to use weapons such as swords. In addition, he has seen similar darts with 4 small sharp blades before. But with such a short dart, I'm afraid it's just going to stick it into the flesh. Also, what happened to the steel needle at the end? Is this weapon used to throw to kill the enemy? Unless someone can accurately hit the vital point, it will be difficult for this thing to kill even if it wants to. But if someone can hit the vitals with such precision, wouldn't it be easier to choose a firearm as a weapon? The owner of the weapon shop was confused. In his opinion, these 3 weapons were not very practical. However, since Master East Blue Shira needs this thing, maybe the other party has its own uses. The strong are always a little eccentric in one way or another. After thinking for a while, the owner of the weapon shop replied, Master East Blue Shira, there is no problem in building these weapons within 3 days, but the quality may be slightly worse. Well, how much does it cost? Bai-Han nodded and asked without paying attention. It doesn't matter if the quality is poor, and you don't need ninja tools of too high quality to deal with ordinary pirates. It also saves him the need to recycle these ninja tools in the future. The owner of the weapon shop estimated the cost in his heart, and finally gritted his teeth and said, Master East Blue Shira, I will not hide from you, the cost to build these things is at least 1.2 million berry, so I will charge you 1.25 million berry. Quote. In fact, the price offered by the owner of the weapon shop is definitely a loss. The cost price required to build these ninja tools is indeed 1.2 million berry. But if you want to ask craftsmen to rush to build it within 3 days, it is not something that can be solved by just 50,000 berry. At least 300,000 to 500,000 berry will be spent here. Obviously, the owner of the weapon shop wanted to make money at a loss, so he paid the money himself. Bai-Han was silent for a while, although he didn't know the exact cost, but he still didn't bother to take advantage of an ordinary person. Even if the owner of the weapon shop in front of him is set in the original plot, he is actually a person who steals, cheats, and watches people order dishes. But this is just that the other party is more realistic. Although the other party's approach is immoral, there is nothing wrong with it. These production costs are 1.6 million berry, and I still need to choose a good weapon. Do you have any recommendations? After Bai-Han thought for a while, he gave a price that he thought was reasonable. 1.6 million berry. The owner of the weapon shop was stunned, but there are still customers who raise their prices. The East Blue Shira in front of him is really a big fat. Bah, what a nice guy. You know, he was already planning to take out his private money to make a profit and make an advertisement. However, since this East Blue Asura raised the price on his own initiative, it couldn't be better. After all, this is just a small business for him. However, the enthusiastic expression of the weapon shop owner has obviously become much more sincere. Master East Blue Shira, what kind of weapon do you want? We have a lot of weapons in our store. The owner of the weapon shop enthusiastically pointed to a row of weapons on the wall and said. Bai Han didn't answer the weapon shop owner's words, but glanced casually around the weapon shop. Soon, a bright light flashed in Bai Han's eyes. He found his target in a dilapidated knife barrel. The third-generation Goosh who was taken by Zoro in the original plot. Bai Han walked over quickly, and pulled out the third-generation ghost from the knife bucket. Seeing this scene, the owner of the weapon shop was horrified in his heart, and hurriedly stopped him. Master East Blue Shira, this is a demon sword third-generation Goosh. It is a weapon that will bring danger to its owner. If you really want a saber, I still have a family heirloom, the good Kuaisao Wugong Shuijiao. I can sell it to you. Even if it is against the good deeds of the previous East Blue Shira-sama. He also absolutely does not allow this lord to be harmed because of the knife he sold. Demon knife. Bai Han raised the corner of his mouth slightly. He wants to see how powerful this legendary demon sword is. Base. With a cold light coming out of its sheath, the third-generation Goosh was immediately pulled out by Bai Han. The surrounding temperature suddenly dropped significantly. The arms shop owner's hairs even stood on end, as if his hair had been blown up. However, this does not mean that the surrounding temperature has really dropped. It's just the evil spirit attached to the knife, which is just an illusion. Moreover, Bai Han, who was holding the third-generation Goosh, could clearly feel that a cold and evil force was spreading up his arm, as if trying to corrode his body. Be honest. Bai Han snorted coldly, without any politeness, and directly released the murderous aura he had accumulated these days. In an instant, a murderous aura dozens of times more ferocious than that of third-generation Goosh erupted centered on Bai Han. The third-generation Goosh, who was still trying to erode Bai Han's body, became as honest as a kitten in an instant, not daring to make a slight movement. It is different from the cold and evil spirit released by third-generation Goosh. Bai Han's murderous aura came very directly, full of domineering and cruelty. At the moment when the killing intent was released, it seemed as if a mountain of corpses and a sea of blood appeared at Bai Han's feet. If some people are not determined, they may even collapse directly on the ground. The weapon shop owner is a good example. Under the outbreak of Bai Han's murderous aura, the owner of the weapon shop fell to the ground and shivered, as if he had fallen into an ice cellar. It wasn't until Bai Han withdrew his murderous aura for a while that the weapon shop owner gradually recovered. This knife is very nice, how much? Bai Han brandished the third-generation Goosh, swung a saber flower into the scabbard, and then asked. The weapon shop owner looked at Bai Han with shock and fear in his eyes. Sure enough, there were only wrong names, not wrong nicknames. East Blue Shira really lived up to the name of Shira. It's a pity that he naively thought that East Blue Shira was a big fat. Hey, good man. The owner of the weapon shop seriously doubted whether he would have survived if he had really deceived East Blue Shira. Anyway, this demon sword is here with me, so I will give it to you directly. Only a character like you can control it. The owner of the weapon shop has become a lot more cautious because of the previous experience. However, what he said did not go against his will. The third-generation Goosh is such a demon sword that ordinary people can't handle it at all. If someone wants to forcibly control it, most people will only be controlled by the sword spirit, and thus become the sword slave of the third-generation Goosh, a monster who only knows how to kill. At least, in a place like East Blue, the weapon shop owner doesn't think there are a few people who can control third-generation Goosh. Bai Han fell into silence again, although he knew that in the original plot, the boss was a hidden hot-blooded element. He even gave Zoro directly the third-generation ghost Toru and Yukasu worth at least 1 million berry. However, he is not a poor ghost swordsman like Zoro. He is still willing to spend a few million berry. Therefore, he didn't mean to take advantage of the weapon shop owner in front of him. Third-generation Goosh is comparable to Liang Kuei Dao Wugong's Yao Dao. I will pay you the normal market price of 1.3 million berry. In addition, Yukizo, as a good fast sword 50 worker, will be worth a little more than third-generation ghosts. I will pay you 1.5 million berry. Bai Han said a long paragraph in one breath. This is also the price he can accept psychologically. Naturally, the owner of the weapon shop couldn't be unhappy. Why did he, Yukiso, who is a 50-50 good swordsman, stay here all the time, and even become a family heirloom? Is it really because you haven't met the right person? No, it's simply because those people are not perfect. Before he went to the Grand Line, he probably didn't have much chance to come into contact with the big quick knife 21 worker. In addition to the Hidaoi text currently in Zoro's hands, East Blue seems to only have Muku and Sakura on Golden Lion Shiki's leg. Baihan didn't even bother to snatch the weapon in Zoro's current hand. After all, Zoro is now his colleague, also a bounty hunter. And snatching Muku and Sakura from Golden Lion Shiki, Baihan thinks he hasn't lived enough. That kind of old monster who could fight Roger, and even drove Roger into a corner at one point. Even if it has been hit hard now, its own strength has declined sharply. That's not something he can touch now, it's an experienced baby reserved for the Son of Destiny. If he dares to touch it now, Golden Lion will dare to let him know what it means to be a lion that is old but still sharp. But after going to the Grand Line in the future, he can consider snatching Ryoma's black sword Chushui from 7 warlords of the Sea Moria. Anyway, it's a waste to put a big sharp knife there. He actually thought of cultivating a group of zombies to seek revenge from Kaido, but he didn't know what he was thinking. Originally, Baihan was planning to go to the boat to get the money, but he didn't expect that Tashigi just brought the money box and delivered the bounty this time. However, looking at the 2 knives in Baihan's hand, Tashigi directly forgot the purpose of this trip, and rushed to Baihan's side with an exclamation, and got very close to observe the famous knife in Baihan's hand, this pattern He Dao Tan. It's Shuizhou from Liang Kuei Dao 50 works. As a girl who is motivated to collect all the famous swords in the hands of all villains, it can be said that Tashigi knows almost all famous knives in this world. World-renowned famous knives like Liang Kuei Dao 50 crafts are naturally no exception. This is a famous knife with only 50 in the whole world. And there are only 33 famous knives that are more famous than these 50 knives. However, the sudden approach of a person of the opposite gender made Baihan instantly feel uncomfortable, and even took a step back subconsciously. If it was an enemy, no matter how beautiful the opponent was, Baihan would not hesitate to slash out with a knife, or ruthlessly pinch the opponent's neck. But Tashigi is not his enemy. It was a woman who suddenly lost her composure because of the famous knife in his hand. This made Baihan a little overwhelmed. Dealing with women, he really has no experience in this area in 2 lifetimes. As Baihan stepped back, he revealed the 3rd generation ghost in the other hand, which caused Tashigi to exclaim even more. Oh my god, it's the demon sword Onitsu. Judging from the pattern, this is the 3rd generation Onido. It's a powerful blade that can rival the Ryokui Dao Ishiko. Tashigi's exclamation sounded again. At this moment, the way she looks at Baihan can no longer be described with envy, but with envy and jealousy. What kind of luck must this be, to be able to buy 2 good knives at the same time in the same weapon shop? You know, she has been searching for so many years, but she has never found any news of a good knife 50 work. Baihan, he suddenly misses Smoker a little bit. At least Smoker will maintain a safe social distance when communicating with him. Although I know that Tashigi, a cute girl, is attracted by famous knives, but this makes him a little uncomfortable. Fortunately, a marine soldier ran outside the door and shouted to Tashigi, "Sergeant Tashigi, we found traces of pirates on the 7th Street. Colonel Smoker asked you to quickly lead the team to support." Tashigi, who was still looking at famous swords like an idiot, immediately became serious, and turned around and shouted, "Okay, I'll go there right away." Then, she reluctantly glanced at the 2 famous knives in Baihan's hand. Then he handed the box to Baihan solemnly, and said, "Mr. Baihan, here is the 5.15 million berry you used to kill pirates at the port. Please keep it." After saying that, Tashigi was about to turn around and leave. However, before leaving, she looked back at the famous knives reluctantly, and said, "Mr. Baihan, you must use these 2 famous knives to kill more pirates. Don't insult these 2 knives. The reputation of a famous sword." After all, Tashigi ran out of the weapon shop sadly, like a woman who was hurt by a scumbag. Scumbag, Baihan. He suddenly felt that he was not holding 2 knives in his hand. Instead, Tashigi was pregnant in October and gave birth to her 2 sons. How could I suddenly have such weird thoughts? Bai-Han shook his head, putting aside this weird thought. Then, directly from the cash box given by Tashigi, 4.4 million berry was taken out and handed over to the owner of the weapon shop. After completing the transaction, Bai-Han walked out of the weapon shop with 2 famous knives stuck in his waist, carrying the remaining 750,000 berry. However, Bai-Han, who was walking on the road, couldn't help sighing. I didn't expect that there were only more than 60 pirates yesterday, and they brought me a bounty of more than 5 million berry. The pirates who can come to Rog Town, it's not easy. On average, each pirate provided him with a bounty close to 100,000 berry. This is much faster than the pirates he killed before, even including the beast pirates. It seems that he can't be idle for these 3 days. The size of his boat in the future depends on how hard he worked before reaching the water capital. After putting the money box back on the boat for safekeeping, Bai-Han went directly to the marine base in Rog Town with 2 knives in his arms, where he received the latest reward list. Afterwards, he drove the Sharingan and wandered around the town of Rog. Under Sharingan's strong eyesight, none of the pirates could hide from Bai-Han. However, in just half a day, Bai-Han hunted and killed dozens of pirates disguised as ordinary civilians, directly bringing him an income of more than 2 million berry. Unfortunately, if the amount of chakra is not enough, Bai-Han can still earn a little more. And Bai-Han's terrifying efficiency also deeply stimulated Rog to guard Marine Smoker. So that Smoker's temper became even more irritable. After all, as Marines guarding the town of Rog, their work efficiency is actually so much worse than that of a bounty hunter. This is literally slapping their Marine in the face. Therefore, the Marine in Rog Township suffered directly. Not only have to bear Smoker's scolding every day. At the same time, they had to work overtime to investigate the pirates who had sneaked into Rog Town, so that the Marines in Rog Town complained. And Bai-Han suddenly took Marine to speed up the investigation because he discovered Smoker. Therefore, in order to avoid the impact on his own business, Bai-Han also directly entered the state of involution. Instead of eating and recovering chakra, Bai-Han spends almost all of his time hunting down pirates. In just over 2 days, Bai-Han earned more than 30 million berry. The secret competition between Bai-Han and Smoker also caused the number of pirates in Rog Town to plummet, even to the lowest level in history. The pirates who can still lurk in it are only the ones that don't have a reward list. Bai-Han, you should calm down a bit, the Creek pirate ship will arrive tomorrow. The tired Smoker sat on a chair in the bar and spoke weakly. He is now in his 30s, and his energy is no longer as vigorous as when he was young. He really can't beat this young man. Well, so I'm going to take a good rest tonight, and Rog Town seems to have no pirates on the bounty list. Bai-Han took a sip of his wine lightly and said meaningfully. In fact, since noon today, he has never encountered a pirate on the bounty list. Therefore, Bai-Han wondered if the Smoker hadn't updated the bounty list on purpose. However, Bai-Han is still very satisfied with what he has gained in less than 3 days. In less than 3 days, he hunted and killed nearly 300 pirates, and obtained more than 30 million berry in total. This is enough for him to build 1/10 of a dream ship. You know, even before destroying the entire beast pirates, he failed to get such a high bounty. What do you mean you? Do you think Lousy will be up to no good? Smoker immediately slapped the table and looked at Bai-Han angrily. I didn't say that. Bai-Han glanced at Smoker lightly. Hey, hurry up, hurry up. Smoker didn't know why. Looking at Bai-Han's flat expression, he was inexplicably angry, but he couldn't figure out what the reason was. In the end, I can only blame myself for being too tired these days. After all, as the highest officer guarding the Marine in Rog Town, he naturally couldn't be like Bai-Han, who can pat his ass and leave after killing the enemy. He also needs to take into account the aftermath, the logistical issues of Marine troop deployment, and various other things. Otherwise, as far as his constitution is concerned, even if he fights for 3 days and 3 nights, there will be no problem. However, the unprecedented cleanliness of Rog Town still gave him an inexplicable sense of accomplishment. Although your fool's personality is quite annoying, thank you anyway. Smoker held out his wine glass to Bai-Han and smiled. Both each other, your character is also quite annoying. Bai Han raised his glass and touched Smoker, and the two drank it down. After getting along these few days, the relationship between him and Smoker is pretty good. At least he was able to communicate normally with Smoker. Having nothing to say all night, Bai Han, who had a good night's rest, came to the port full of energy. Smoker, with Tashigi and a group of Marines, has been waiting here early. The moment he saw Bai Han, Smoker directly roared, "Salute!" Crash! All Marines straddle and salute at the same time, paying the highest respect to Bai Han. Because they already know what Bai Han is going to do today. Although Bai Han is not from their Marine, but belongs to the bounty hunters, what Bai Han has done in the past 3 days is still engraved in their hearts. No matter what the reason is, Bai Han has made a great contribution to the Marines' clearing of Rog Town, allowing them, the Marines, to reduce a great deal of casualties. Moreover, Bai Han took the initiative to relocate the battlefield to the sea this time. It put himself at a disadvantage and directly avoided the damage to Rog Town. This kind of character is also enough to make them salute this gift sincerely. Bai Han, Bai Han, Bai Han cursed, directly past the group of Marines, and walked towards the boat that was prepared earlier. Smoker's act of saluting him with Marine really stunned him. Give him this early in the morning. If the conditions are not allowed, he has to use his toes to give Smoker a 3-bedroom and 1 living room. You fool, don't die. Lousy doesn't want to collect your body. At this time, Smoker's voice suddenly came from behind Bai Han. The corner of Bai Han's mouth twitched, and he cursed directly without turning his head, "Even if you die, I won't die." It seemed that because of the curse, Bai Han's mood suddenly became much better, and even the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. Soon, Bai Han's small sampan left the port of Rog Town. Looking at the back of Bai Han going away, Smoker exhaled a long puff of thick smoke, covering his face. After a while, Smoker said in a deep voice, "Everyone is ready to board the ship. Our mission is to stop the escaped ships of the Creek pirates. We must not hold back." He is optimistic about Bai Han and he is optimistic about Bai Han. However, he would never joke about the lives of his subordinates. Using the Marine stationed in Rog Town to deal with the Creek pirates is simply lifeless. With his Smoker's strength, maybe he can kill randomly even in the first half of the Grand Line. However, the Marines stationed in Rog Town can't do this step. Most of these Marines stationed in Rog Town are not even qualified to go to naval headquarters. Perhaps the Marines in Rog Town are stronger than the Marines of other Marine divisions in East Blue, but after all, their strength is limited. I'm afraid that even the strongest among them is only the strength of a naval headquarters lieutenant officer. In addition, the total number of Marines stationed in Rog Town does not exceed 2,000, so they are not qualified to fight this battle at all. Therefore, Smoker couldn't give Bai Han any support in this battle. At best, it can only be the same as previously agreed. They are responsible for stopping the escaped pirates of the Creek pirates. Seeing this scene, Tashigi couldn't help showing a bit of worry in his eyes. She naturally also knew Smoker's difficulties, but she really didn't want Bai Han to die here. Not only because of Bai Han's looks, but also because of the quality she has seen in Bai Han these days. Such a person really shouldn't fall into a place like East Blue. Don't worry, if he is really in danger, I will take action. After Smoker finished speaking, he walked directly towards the Marine base in Rog Town. Soon, warships also left the Marine base in Rog Town one by one, and gradually disappeared on the horizon. At the same time, Bai Han has also driven the small sampan to the advancing route of the Creek pirates given by Smoker. Thanks to Smoker's blessing, he was able to know the exact route of the Creek pirates so smoothly. Otherwise, in such a vast sea, he would have to spend a lot of effort to find the Creek pirates' fleet. Bai Han didn't do anything superfluous, he just sat cross-legged on the bow of the boat and recuperated his body, improving his state to the best state. There will be 1 vs 5,000 pirates next, even Bai Han dare not take it lightly. After all, he doesn't have the pervert body of Big Mom, and has a defense that even Admiral can hardly shake. About an hour later, Bai Han suddenly opened his eyes. Sharingan quietly appeared in his eye sockets. The scene on the sea level in the distance was clearly presented in front of Bai Han's eyes. "Are you here?" Bai Han stood up and moved his fingers lightly. At the same time, the watchman on the Creek pirates' side also noticed the small sampan boat Bai Han was on. On the vast sea, such a small flat boat is very conspicuous. "Captain, there is an unexpected situation ahead. It seems that someone is waiting for us." On the flagship of the Creek pirates, the watchman at the top of the sail on the Deladonid Sabaru yelled downward. Crick, who was sitting on the deck seat drinking wine, suddenly became interested. "Oh, wait for us. Lousy wants to see who is so desperate." With a height of 2.43 meters, Crick, who was wearing a heavy gold battlesuit, crushed the wine glass in his hand, stood up and said with a smirk. Crick came to the bow of the ship, took the binoculars handed to him by the ghost man agent and looked over. I saw, on a small sampan in the distance, a handsome man with long hair like a hedgehog and a black high-necked shirt was looking at this side with his arms folded. The other party's scarlet eyes were extremely bright, like a demon, full of evil and cold aura. "These eyes, is that guy from East Blue Shira?" Creek raised his eyebrows, and then a smirk curled up on the corner of his mouth. "He doesn't think he can deal with Lousy's pirate fleet alone, does he? His Creek pirate group has a full super pirate fleet of 50 pirate ships and more than 5,000 pirates. Although this East Blue Shira is suspected to be Logia demon fruit power. But this is too much to underestimate him. Pull the cannon up for me, I want to let this East Blue Shira know how to fight on the sea." Crick growled loudly. "Yes, Captain, East Blue Shira. The newspaper said that East Blue Shira is the one who will end the era of great voyages created by One Piece Roger. If we finish him, does that mean we are good enough to rival One Piece Roger? Ha 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 ha. Kill East Blue Shira, surpass One Piece." As soon as Creek's voice fell, everyone in the Creek pirates followed suit. Many pirates even talked about the slogan of surpassing One Piece without shame. These people in the countryside, after all, don't know what a terrible existence Pirate King Roger is. Perhaps only after the Summit War, the world can have a clear understanding of the strength of the world's top powerhouses. Of course, the actions of the Creek pirates are definitely not slow. A large number of cannons were pushed to the bow of the ship, aimed at Bai Han's direction. At this moment, at least more than 30 cannons were aimed at Bai Han's location. "Stupid brat, use your life to pay the price for looking down on me. Sink into the sea with your broken ship. Fire." Crick smiled coldly and ordered directly. Bang bang bang. In an instant, more than 30 cannons fired at the same time, forming a dense firepower network covering Bai Han's direction. No matter how outrageous the accuracy of these pirates is. But under the cover of more than 30 cannons, several shells still fell towards Bai Han. And this scene was clearly seen by Nami on a small boat in the distance. This horrifying scene instantly made Nami cover his mouth and widen his eyes. It's over, it's over. How could someone be able to dodge so many shells? Why is East Blue Shira different from the rumors? Is he going to die? Nami's heart was full of disappointment. I thought East Blue Shira had hoped to save her hometown. But looking at it now, let alone facing a group of powerful evil dragons, I am afraid that today is the time when East Blue Shira will be buried in the bottom of the sea. But in the next moment, Nami knew he was wrong. And it was so wrong. Mere artillery shells can't threaten Bai Han at all. Because the opponent directly abandoned the small sampan boat under his feet and started running on the sea. The turbulent water surface, under the feet of East Blue Shira, was as solid as the ground, supporting East Blue Shira's body so that he would not sink. This weird scene directly plunged Nami into a deep shock. How is this possible? How can humans run on the sea? Nami complained with a face full of shock. At this moment, no one can answer her question. The scene of Bai Han running on the sea also shocked the crew of the Creek pirates. It never occurred to them that there are still people in this world who can run on the sea. This even made them wonder if there were actually a long series of reefs that could be stepped on under the feet of the East Blue Shira. With the opponent's moving speed, our cannons can't lock on at all. This East Blue Shira is coming. Everyone, get ready for close combat. Come on, let Lousy see what kind of tricks you, East Blue Shira, have. The pirates of the Creek pirates on the outermost pirate ships took out their weapons one after another and rushed to the deck. At the same time, many pirates picked up guns, ran to the side of the ship and shot at Bai Han. The dense bullets immediately enveloped Bai Han. Even if these pirates were not accurate enough, they still caused a lot of trouble for Bai Han when they won by quantity. Tisk, trouble. Bai Han's hands quickly formed seals. Clone technique. Boom. As a puff of smoke exploded, 4 figures rushed out of the smoke, heading towards the Creek Pirates fleet from 4 different directions. This scene directly dumbfounded those members of the Creek Pirates. How did one person become 4? What should we do? What to do? Let's fight them all. What else can we do? If we can injure East Blue Shira before he boards the ship, then we can relax a little bit later. It makes sense, we have so many guns, even if he is divided into 4, it is enough to cover them all. The pirates of Creek Pirates instantly divided into 4 teams and shot at Bai Han respectively. It's just that this time, 3/4 of the pressure was shared by the Avatar. Therefore, Bai Han seemed to handle it with ease. Dodge the bullets that can be avoided, and use Shuezo and 3rd generation ghosts to smash the bullets that cannot be avoided. But in just half a minute, Bai Han directly charged a distance of several hundred meters. This scene directly and deeply shocked Nami, who was watching the battle from afar. The knife shredded the bullet. How is this possible? How can humans be so strong? Nami, who was looking at the official website with a telescope, was full of horror in his eyes. In order to save her hometown from the evil dragon, she has been in East Blue for a long time. He even hangs around and steals among various pirate groups. However, she has never seen anyone who can easily smash bullets like Bai Han. After all, it is really too difficult to smash a bullet. What's more, he was still in the middle of such a hail of bullets, and he was running at such a fast speed to accurately smash the bullets. With this terrifying power, I am afraid that even facing the evil dragon who is a murloc, it is not like there is no chance. Of course, apart from Nami, the people who are shocked at this moment are also the crew members of the Creek Pirates. Seeing a person rushing towards them with bullets constantly smashing bullets, the feeling of oppression is simply too terrifying. What's more, this person also has a pair of scarlet eyes that glow like a devil. Monster. This is definitely a monster. East Blue Shira is definitely not human. Get ready, everyone. Has this monster appeared just in East Blue? He seems to be Logia demon fruit power. Shoot and don't let him come over. The pirate voices of the Creek Pirates were trembling. Even if they are in the big fleet at the moment, it can't give them the slightest sense of security. Because Bai Han is less than 100 meters away from them. Even Crick frowned, and subconsciously clenched the 2000 Jin giant golden gun beside him. Such a strong person is indeed a bit tricky. Fortunately, he is not alone. Glancing at the ghost man Ajin and TB Baloo beside him, his mood calmed down a little. All for Lousy. Get rid of this so-called East Blue Shira, and Lousy will reward him with 1 million berry. Crick yelled. With 5,000 pirate brothers, he is not afraid of this kind of bounty hunter fighting alone. He can kill this so-called East Blue Shira just by consuming it. Sure enough, under the encouragement of Crick's money, the pirates in the Crick Pirates immediately roared excitedly. After all, that's 1 million berry. If you save a little, it is enough to be a rich man on some small islands and live your life safely. Kill East Blue Shira. Come on, for 1 million berry. A mere bounty hunter, who do you think you are? Die for me. The pirates of the Creek Pirates immediately took out their cold weapons and stood on the deck, waiting for Bai Han to approach. And Bai Han did not disappoint these pirates. Bai Han quickly rushed through the last distance of less than 100 meters, and then jumped towards the frontmost pirate ship. Before the person landed, dozens of thousands of roots were like raindrops, splashing towards the pirates below. Under the blessing of the 2 Tomo Sharingan, each of these thousands of copies is like a precise guidance, shooting at the eyes, heart or throat of the pirates who are attacking their respective targets. In just an instant, dozens of pirates fell down in unison. At the same time, a venue was also invited for Bai Han to land. However, this wave of killing by Bai Han did not make the pirates of the Creek Pirates retreat, but the blood of their companions aroused their ferocity. Dozens of pirates who were still alive around rushed towards Bai Han, waving their weapons. There were even some pirates from the surrounding pirate ships, and they got on the rope and rushed towards the ship where Bai Han was. If you look down from a high altitude, you will find that the pirates of the Creek Pirates, like zombies, are constantly rushing towards Bai Han. The scene of more than 5,000 people rushing towards one person at the same time is enough to make one's scalp tingle. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.